roads.
Well, you didn't see.
No, that's why I said my usual, because normally Ullo would be choked and blocked. One side of the road would be blocked. The Madena side, one side of the road would be blocked into, I think, the Standards Authority before. So that's Ullo traffic light to the Standards Authority, that stretch. Yes, so that's why I said my usual route. So, I mean, usually when we see heavy rains like this, what happens is the choked road or the blocked road, which also tends to cause a lot of traffic. So two things: either the water flowed through the night and the road cleared up by this morning, or something has changed on the road. We still can't say exactly which is which, but it was a good morning this morning.
Well, it wasn't so good a morning for persons headed towards Kaswa, the SCC part, as the rains resulted in quite the flash floods. I'm seeing reports which suggested that some vehicles were nearly swept away, and there was a cause for concern to some extent as well this morning. But as you know, we've been unable to deal effectively with flooding in the capital, and so anytime it rains, well, in one way or the other, having to have this conversation on that,
but Kaswa,
on that front.
Kaswa, I think the Kaswa problem has to receive national attention, because we reached a stage where Kaswa, even when it drizzles, the traffic there worsens, and there's congestion everywhere, there's floods and all of that. So the Kaswa problem, I think it needs particular attention, and we need to see the authorities, deeply looking into this, because it's surprising that, well, for yesterday it was a downpour, so it would be understood, but there are days that it doesn't rain as much, but my Kaswa people still get stranded, and we have colleagues in the office here who find it difficult to return home or get to work anytime we see the rains on that stretch. So Kaswa needs particular attention.
It's not just the rain, and so it's the mud that gets poured onto the road, and the challenge that there really is no other alternative to get to that part of town unless you're having to go and do a very long turn through. I think you're meandering through portions of Amasaman and the likes, and that is not a route that is favorable to a lot of drivers, and so it makes it very, very complicated.
So what is good for those of us on the Oyarifa, Dodowa, Ebri stretch, we have quite a number of options.
Yes. For Kaswa, you don't have.
Also that depends on which side of the stretch you are on. There are certain parts when once you get into that stretch, then you are stuck. You cannot, you don't have any way out. So maybe that, like I said, the conversation would have to begin with how Kaswa would be opened up in quotes. How do we give alternative routes into and out of that stretch,
that part of town,
so that we don't have just the La Paz, Malam, Weja road, which is what everybody must use in and out of the area. And like you said, if I have to use an alternative route that will take me to Amasaman before I come back, that's another stretch. And I don't know that road anyway, so I cannot really talk much about it. But there has to be some serious conversation around Kaswa in particular. And I think that should start from the Kaneshi side.
So Kaneshi or Doko, Malam,
side.
then you're going
Yes,
Maui and
the whole of that stretch, because we see flooding around that side to the Accra, the boys' school.
Accra Academy. That used to be very terrible. The drain was there was an entire project which sought to created a drain, a huge drain underneath the road to take care of the flooding situation. Why? I mean, you get the flash floods when it rains heavily, but I think after a while it goes away. But yes, it's another area which floods greatly in these parts. We'll get into the papers now.
Yeah.
I'll do those that I have. I'll start off with the Republic Press. NDC foot soldiers revolt, slam leadership over neglect, gold board World Cup slots. Also, GIS bust Nigerian fraud syndicate to rescue 73 abuse victims. Ashaiman landlords and caretakers accept sex as rent. Oh. It's just... I didn't anticipate reading a headline like this on a Wednesday.
Take that one again.
Assignment landlords and caretakers accept sex as rent. Story on page 4. Ghana ready for...
The caretaker will accept the sex on behalf of the landlord.
I don't know how I can answer this question. Because I have no experience in this regard. Ghana ready for first female president, Reverend Dr. Joyce
That was a very needless answer. The things you speak to, do you have experience in them?
No, I have knowledge of some of them and experience.
Knowledge, not experience.
I don't have any experience on this front.
You go. It is well.
2 land guards nabbed for vandalism, stealing of chief's clothes and stools, and police grab cannabis haul as crash exposes drug smuggling. I'll get the details for Sixtus on the sex for rent. But Supreme newspaper, Magdan Aviation may lose private jet terminal to Ibrahim Mahama amid sabotage. That's a claim by the paper. BOG details post-debt crisis recovery, says economy rebounding after turbulent 2024. Calls for enquiry mount, APL questions coherence of BOG's gold policy. Strengthening the state, COP Razak, Osman's expanding security footprint. Sanshi family petitions authorities. Scores of youth endorsed Nanabi for NPP vice chairman, tout his experience. The custodian is the last one I have. I'll contest Ashanti region chairmanship position. Asanteman Koka declares. Tension mounts in NDC as angry party supporters cry over no jobs and failed oral promises. Suhini inspects road project in Tamale. Gold war upon Kroma tackles BOG over $1.3 billion loss. Anodompre urges Ghana to criminalize ecocide. BOG outlines recovery and policy actions to Parliament.
I have in my hands the Accra Times newspaper edited by Simon Agianab, Dean of the Parliamentary Press Corps, headlined, "I will serve with integrity and humility." President Mahama pledges need for robust local governance structure. Speaker Bagwin speaks out. Lodina weeps for girl dropouts as Ghana commemorated International Women's Day. Diversification of gold reserves. BOG Governor defends decision. Comes with the pictures of Chief Executive of the Gold Board, Same Jamfi, and Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama. Open governance in Ghana caucus engages National Steering Committee. Honorable Emmanuel Bedra is the one pictured here in his beautiful African wear. MIDA moves to transform Volta Corridor into agro-industrial hubs. And you have the back page of the Accra Times newspaper, bold picture of the president waving the flag of Ghana. And it says, building prosperity, restoring hope, as we commemorate 69th Independence Anniversary celebration. You have that boldly on the back page of the Accra Times newspaper. Now, I take you to the Daily Gist newspaper, edited by Fortune Alimini. I hope I got that right. It says, BOG Governor defends gold reserve policy. Comes with the picture of Dr. Johnson Esiama, who is the chief of the central bank. Boahen Edu rejects Cocoa Board household items offer. That full story is on page 2 of the Daily Gist newspaper. Also on the front page, you have Opong and Nkrumah fights BOG's $1.3 billion gold sale. Akufo-Addo leads AU election mission to the Congo. Anodompre pushes for ecocide law. Interesting headline. Baba Jamal dozes off first day in Parliament. This is not fair.
What paper is this? The Daily Gist.
Daily Gist. I mean,
there's a picture of him on social media.
Fortune, but this one, the man is tired from all the campaign. He didn't sleep. He didn't sleep.
I want to see the footage.
I have the picture captured on the front page of the Daily Gist newspaper. Oh no, Fortune, this one. Yeah. You have not forced for His Excellency Honorable.
Still the Dean's paper?
No. This is Daily Gist. This one is edited by Fortune. Fortune used to edit the Daily Guide newspaper. I'm looking for the story. It is the picture for me. The way the man is comfortably dozing off. Hopefully, we will get to speak with His Excellency Honorable. He dogged the title of His Excellency to carry the title of Honorable. And now Honorable is so tired that is it less than, that story is on page 9 of the paper. It says less than an hour after being sworn into Parliament. Fortune, you'll be arrested. The story is actually by Grace Ziga. I guess Grace is the parliamentary correspondent. Less than an hour after being sworn into Parliament as the new member for Ayawasu East, Baba Jamal Mohammed Ahmed has become the subject of widespread public debate after a photograph circulating on social media appeared to show him dozing off in the chamber shortly after taking the oath of office. This is less than an hour that should cater for. The image, which quickly gained traction online on March 10, captured the newly sworn-in legislator seated in Parliament with his head lowered and eyes closed, prompting a flurry of reactions across social media platforms. Critics interpreted the moment as symbolic of political complacency, especially given the intense controversy that surrounded his journey to Parliament.
I think that's a bit
This is a serious story.
It's a bit complacency in what sense? By all means, a man should not be sleeping in Parliament.
No, he should not. Especially not less than an hour after being sworn in.
As for that, we will not sit here and say,
Grace has to get Story Writer of the Year. He write the story well.
It is the fact that they say critics say it is.
Yes.
That's why.
Oh no, Grace, you write the story. You write them. So that is what is on page 9 of the Daily Gist newspaper. I've just read only the lead of the story. You can get the paper and then see the rest of it. So now I take you to. First, let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper. This says truth and accuracy every day. You have audit spots 21 billion Ghana cedi fraud on state coffers. Government targets culprits for prosecution. We played that voice. That was the debate we played for you to you from Parliament. It's captured here on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Spillover of Boko conflict, 23 arrested over Galamsey in Oda River Forest Reserve. Spillover, okay. Dismantle barriers to women's interest development. Professor Ikia Brenchum is the one quoted here. That story is on page 13 of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Unilever Ghana partners GHS to expand oral health care. Recall again, yesterday we played that debate in Parliament following the question and answer session of the health minister, and oral health took center stage. I mean, there was a whole discussion on oral health, how many Ghanaians visit the dentist and whether we are taking it seriously. Now, the Ghana Health Service is moving to expand oral health care, as captured on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. And on the back page of the Daily Graphic newspaper, you have call off strike, let's dialogue, Labour Minister appeals to clock sack. Story is by Joyce Tembla Awuni and Francisca Ishan. Children believe donates medical supplies to northern, Savannah, northeast regions. And that comes with the picture of the donation. That paper is edited by Theophilus Yate, Daily Graphic newspaper. Let me now bring you the people's favorite newspaper, Ghana's favorite newspaper, the Daily Guides newspaper. It says on the front page, minority raises alarm over new mining royalty law. Comes with the picture of the gentle giant Patrick Boama, who they say is in waiting to hold the flag of the new patriotic party. I hear he keeps running away from it, but his name keeps coming up also. Patrick Boama. A lot of people have fallen in love with his demeanor, his nature of politics. You won't see him unnecessarily entangled. He makes critical interventions. So when he speaks, yes, listen. Opong Nkrumah takes on BOG over $1.3 billion loss claim. Unilever GHS partner to expand oral health education. Comes with a picture of Dr. Samuel Kaba, Akreya, and Chris Wolf Caesar signing that agreement. NPA extortion case, OASP converts accused into witness. There was a lot of drama in court yesterday as this was about to happen. OASP said, no, we are still in talks. State prosecutor says, yes, we have concluded. Wound to me to no fate, March 16. That is also on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper, edited by Jamila Akwele. This one to me story. On this day, the court is suspected to give a ruling on, I think, a case of a submission of no case, yes, to say that all that the state has said, all the evidence the state has led against him, it is not. He has no questions to answer. He has no crime to respond to or to defend. So they should let him go home. March 16, that's on Monday, right?
March 16 will be Monday.
Monday, yes. So by Monday we will know this.
Because today is the 11th?
11, yes. So March 16 we will know whether the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bernard Nchibio-Sako, aka Wuntumi, will be answering to the criminal charges led against him by the state, the evidence and all, whether it actually establishes a crime that he has to defend himself against. We will know this on Monday. So I wanted to take you back into... I'm done with the headlines.
Okay.
Where is that story? Okay, you do the
The one you are interested
Do the sex for rent.
So a story is on the 4th page of the Republic Press. It reads, some landlords within the Ashaiman municipality have allegedly been demanding sexual favors from female tenants in place of rent payment, according to a report by the Alternative Dispute Resolution Center, the ADR Center. Now, the Ashaiman ADR Center's annual reports disclose that in certain instances, landlords agreed to accept sex instead of rent for specific periods. The report, compiled by 3 mediators at the center, further revealed that some caretakers exploited female prospective tenants by requesting sexual favors despite not being the property owners. In one cited case, a caretaker who was managing a property in the landlord's absence rented a room to a woman for 2 years. The caretaker later began a romantic relationship with the tenant and verbally extended her tenancy for an additional year after her initial rent expired. He subsequently granted another 1-year extension while maintaining the relationship even after the woman became pregnant by another man. According to the ADR Center, the caretaker later asked the tenant to vacate the premises after their relationship ended, but she refused, insisting that they had agreed to a 2-year verbal tenancy agreement. Mediators intervened and persuaded the caretaker to compensate the tenant after he admitted he was not the property owner and claimed he was acting on instructions from the landlord to reclaim the property. The report also referenced another incident where a landlord evicted a tenant after discovering him engaged in a sexual relationship with his wife. The ADR Center noted that most disputes handled during the period were related to financial difficulties, sharp rent increases, and tenants' inability to pay rent on time, often due to job losses. Other complaints involve tenants keeping pets or hosting visitors contrary to the terms of their tenancy agreement. So that's the story, and there are cited cases as well for your listening pleasure, Sixtus.
Oh, no, it's a serious matter. It's not for my listening pleasure.
I'm just making a point out for the listening pleasure. There is that.
Charlie, so was the woman already married, or
no? So I think from what we are reading, one of the cases, the lady comes to rent. Along the line, they enter into a romantic relationship. And so the man says, "Oh, you not pay rent again. I've extended your rent by 1 year."
And that's the caretaker, not the landlord.
Yes. Then the 1 year is up and he says, "Oh, I've extended it by 1 year again." But along the line, he realizes that another man has impregnated you.
So he said, "No, I have unextended my extension."
Yeah. But you can't. I mean, once you enter into a verbal agreement, you are bound by it. So they said he should compensate. But these are...
So the woman is the one who took the matter to the ADR
No,
center.
the story doesn't specify. It just mentions the case.
Oh, okay.
It just mentions the case. It doesn't specify who took the matter up to I don't want to say court.
ADR, it says the ADR
Yeah,
center.
because I suspect it could go to court and then you'll be advised to seek alternative dispute resolution, or you'll be advised from the go to seek alternative dispute resolution as well. But there's this story about jobs and revolt by foot soldiers. I don't know if Mustafa Gbande, we should pick thoughts from him this morning via the phone lines as well, because a number of the papers have the story about youth in the NDC displeased about a lack of jobs. I think yesterday I was seeing a lot of reaction when the security service recruitment, the test results for the aptitude
came out.
And a number of people said they had failed, and they were saying they don't know how and why they failed, and were raising serious objections, serious objections to those. it has resulted in a huge conversation. And I think it started from the weekend when details emerged of a sponsorship by Gold Board Jewelry as well to a particular event which happened in the UK. All of that has culminated.
The event was not even in Ghana.
No, it was in the UK. All of that has culminated into
triggering the anger of young people.
The supporters, the base, the foot soldiers, who said they expected a lot, and it looks like they are not getting what they were promised. And there's been
quite frankly, Mawuena, the NDC must, in fact, let me say, put it the Nigerian way, the NDC must to sit back and really look at how the young people of the party are sailing through the wind that the party has enjoyed. I mean, a lot of lessons abound in the NPP. How the anger of the people can be used against you. In fact, let's not even go to the NPP. In 2016, one of the reasons cited for the loss of President Mahama at that poll to President Akufo-Addo was the anger of young people of the party. That the people had become disillusioned. They had become angered by the fact that they felt forgotten. They felt neglected. I mean, 6 months into the administration, we can continue to say yes. We are still settling.
Yeah.
Oh, you hold on, be patient. 6 months into the administration, we can afford to say that. 1 year into the administration, we cannot continue giving that excuse to young people. When the people are seeing that other people who didn't work for the party are enjoying the party or the government of the party or formed by the party, but they who feel they have toiled, some of them don't even have access. You call some appointees and it's a big problem. They will not respond to the calls. If they by mistake respond to your call, they are in a hurry to get rid of you. If they tell you to meet them in their offices, you get there and you are kept waiting for hours on ending only to be told the person is not around. I think that the party has to take a second look. National chairman is on a thank you tour, and these issues keep coming up. You see, on the side, every now and then you hear that general has said something somewhere, and it will be trending.
Yeah.
And in fact, there was a particular comment he said he had been taken out of context, and he sought to explain
about the report on election violence and what have you.
Yes.
Was reported.
Yes. And so, the more or the longer this thing lingers on, the more difficult it is and dangerous it is becoming for the party. The party must know that it is not just what do they call it? 2028 is not a foregone conclusion. And I have made that analysis here before. NDC is still deciding, is still coming to decide who will be an aspirant and who will eventually be the flag bearer.
To the extent that we've had the Central Regional Communications Officer go on Facebook and suggest that if you want to lead the party in any way, in your manifesto, tell us what you are going to do for us.
Exactly.
We will not work for you, and then when you come. To the extent
ignore.
That party officials who are like very known executives are not national level but regional level are coming out with comments like these, and I've had calls.
And it's just 1 year.
A lot.
1 year. In our conversations, we hear these things. People speak to us, and these things keep coming up.
But by virtue of the fact that they were in opposition, and I covered a lot of protests, and, I mean, people interact. They say, "Oh, they watch you and all of that. They want to talk to you. Like, if they have some news, they'll give to you, and so you exchange contacts and all of that." When I put up news cards, when we do our news cards, and sometimes the reaction I get, they say, people, they've disappointed us greatly. They will send it and I'll tell me, what can I say? I'll just say, That's what I can say, because it's not like I can go and get, I can take you, hold your hand, and there are people who are calling and are asking, can you take me to this person?
To see this person.
Yes.
Yes. I get those calls.
And so the disappointment, this is from social media, and I've seen it greatly, that it's been crazy. There are those who've shared account of the fact that they follow the party all through. They don't believe that they failed the aptitude test. I think after we have the conversation, or at the heart of it, rather, not after we have, at the heart of it is the need for jobs. People want jobs. Look,
and before we are misunderstood, Mawuena, we are not saying raking unqualified people into any job position. That's not the argument we are making.
I even have a problem with how we go about it, because it is seen more often than a reward system than people getting into positions where they are supposed to deliver. Right? But at the heart of this really is jobs. Young people want jobs. The party people want jobs. And if the jobs are available, if the jobs are created, nobody will be on social media and be complaining that you have ignored me and all of that.
I have been in this yard. People have traveled from regions because maybe they know you professionally, maybe they know you personally, maybe they know you directly through any other means. They come here with issues, and they say, can you lead me to so and so appointee? And because we also have certain levels of relationship with certain appointees.
I mean, you are calling them for interviews.
Yes. So when you receive people like this, you just remove your phone, take out your phone, and then you call. And you realize that people in the past, hitherto, you would call them on the first ring. In fact, the ring will not even land, and they will answer the call. Now you will call them 3 rounds, and they will not mind you. They will not respond, and they will not return. And so, I mean, media people are even experiencing this. You are looking for one appointee for an interview. Somebody that you would have, in the past, in fact, would have been calling you and asking you, oh, Charlie, when am I coming on air? Oh, when are you? Oh, let's talk about this issue. Oh, but Charlie, this thing that is happening, you know, see, let's discuss this. People who were helping you in your production, directing you, even though it is not their job. Today, you are calling them to appear on the same show that they were begging to appear on, and they won't even respond. They won't answer the calls. It's just 1 year.
Oh, I mean, they are busy. They are working.
They are busy.
They are working.
It's just 1 year.
They are working. They are working.
I mean, I said, you can work. In fact, you must work.
Yeah.
You must work. But you must also be able to make time. Yes, the previous one, you were unemployed. So you had all the time in the world to be appearing on radio and on TV and be answering all the calls from all the foot soldiers, as they are called, and the serial callers, as they are called. Now is even the more important time to continue to engage the same people who helped. So, again, and that's the bottom line of my discussion. The national executive of the party has to sit back and see how, in collaboration with the whips in parliament, how they deal with this situation. so that appointees do not forget. And the thing you were talking, that sponsorship package you were talking about, we have seen even appointees who are unhappy about that sponsorship package take to social media to complain. We have read all those messages. So the party should sit back and ask itself, how are you helping the masses who contributed to this victory? The victory that has placed you where you are. It's only fair that we also congratulate those, again, people keep mentioning their names as doing well. I don't know if it's a good thing or good idea to mention names that have come up in on social media in discussions. I don't know. So let me hold on to those names. But a few names have come up.
Yeah.
That, oh, so and so appointee is doing well. So and so appointee is doing well. Oh, so and so is able to deal with party communicators. So and so is able to deal with party organizers. I was in an office and I saw how an appointee spoke to a party executive at the lower level, and I was sorry for the party executive who came around. That will not take you anywhere, because this person is going straight back to that constituency. It won't hurt you, because you may never go on the campaign. You may never appear in this particular constituency to say anything. But the people who will eventually have to go around to campaign, they will face the spillover. The anger that the people have bottled up against you, they'll pour it on another person who goes to campaign there. So it's always a big problem managing the expectation of the people that the rest of the members of the political party. I made this argument here again some time ago. Look, the way you deal with some of these things, you can't provide jobs for everybody. That is not possible. And you cannot also open recruitment into security services and say, bring your party card. If you do that, I'll come on in and I'll chastise you. I will do that. I will attack you for doing that. But where the people have also qualified, where they are qualified, and they still don't get the opportunity. In my language, there's an interesting way they say it, that in our reign, we cannot be seen to be suffering in our reign. It's an interesting.
The rainy season, and you are
so your
dying
mother
of
is in the
thirst.
kitchen and you are
And
hungry.
you are dying of thirst.
It is not. Again, nobody is saying give all the jobs to NDC people. Nobody is saying ask people to bring party card. Nobody is saying that. We are just saying, I mean, bottom line of all of this is the question of qualification. Is the person qualified? That's the bottom line. Is the person qualified for the job?
Again,
People's expectations have to be managed.
right. Again, I will go back to the point I was making, that after all is said and done, this is a jobs conversation and less a party conversation. This administration, and I recall I spoke to the Honorable Sam George on one of the many initiatives which is supposed to provide jobs. So 1 million coders program, the Jumara program. And Kokon Kitinkiti is more like, well, it's also a farming initiative, Feed Ghana project, Feed Ghana initiative, and all of that. These are initiatives that are supposed to create jobs. 24-hour economy, 133 or 331. Is it how 133 is a tagline, right? Then there is big push, where the country has become a construction site. Is what we're told. Right? Roads are being constructed, different parts of the country, that will provide some employment. 1 million coders program The first batch came through, they were done. Other initiatives, where are they? Where have they reached? I asked Sam George about 1 million coders, and he provided some response and the certification which they had received and the onboarding which was supposed to take place amongst many other things. Ejumera, what's the update? National Apprenticeship Program, what's the update? You know, these initiatives, let's be frank with ourselves, it's not going to create all of the jobs or provide all the jobs to the 13 point something percentage which we're seeing in terms of unemployment in this country. It won't. But it also begs the question, where are these initiatives? What are the updates? It's been a year on. And I recall in one galamsey I did, I joined a podcast and we were talking about the government of President Mahama 1 year on. And I said, look, it's been, the response has been fantastic across all quarters. In terms of the work that has been done, particularly on the economy and the trajectory upon which we were on, and where we are now, CD, reserves accumulation, deficits and all of that. I mean, the indicators are pointing in the right direction. But in the second year, the questions will start. Where are the jobs? Because people will start asking the question as to where are the jobs. I joined that podcast about a month ago. And a month down the line, that is what is dominating the conversation. And so there will have to be frank conversations had. Yesterday, was it 2 days ago, or yesterday, we were talking about rice farmers and a president's directive to purchase local rice, which are not being adhered to. So the disconnect is beginning to show after 1 year of rallying around. And the president has shown an indication as to wanting to leave a legacy. He will have to be more hands-on in terms of seeing through these many policies which are supposed to provide relief for the young people. Because the moment his eye goes off the ball, small one, on rice directive, he's issued it twice. We must not see a third time, because we will ask the question, are people refusing to listen to the president when he issues a directive? And so this second directive, and the farmers are already saying they are not hearing anything. But we will begin to read meanings into the others. And so these and more are the issues that are crystallizing. As for the jobs, it is going to stay with us from now till December 7, 2028. Have you created the jobs? And your foot soldiers will ask that question more because they feel they have a stake because they worked.
In fact, they would be the ones defending the position at the local level.
To bring the party to power.
Yes. You know, when they sit under the sheds, you know, the boys arguing over politics, they'll be the ones defending this. The girls who are walking down the stream and or to the market, they'll be the ones defending these things. So, I mean, really, the party must sit down and ask itself how it can help itself. Let me read some, just a couple of messages. Abubakar Al-Hassan, thank you for standing with the masses. Is this about this conversation? We are standing with the masses, eh?
No, so this, yes, the masses is the fact that people are asking for jobs. And so if you are standing with the masses, then you are for them.
Teacher Kujo Tepa Anyina Suso. In NDC's propaganda era, the COVID-19 pandemic and Russia-Ukraine war, which both lasted for over 2 years, had no effect on the economy of Ghana. See how they are wagging their tails after just a few days into U.S.-Israel war against Iran. Greetings to Dr. Baumia Honorable Eric Nana Jiman Prempe, MP for Ahafo North, Nana B, and Mr. Osu Bempa, the Inshaiso constituency chairman, hopeful. Okay. We take it as it is.
People are sending shout outs.
We take it for what it is worth. Watching you live from Uganda, Wakiso district. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Luja, the name is Luja Ronald Baruka. Mutabaruka. I hope I got that right. Okay. There are some messages that also came into my WhatsApp. One says, allow the man to do small. The man tired. That's Baba Jamal. Yes. Okay. So, this one says, this is your advice to NDC. Please re-echo it. Arrogance is beginning to creep in. I met my MP at the airport. I know he doesn't know me. I only said hi just to get his attention. The look the man gave me and nodded whilst just vanishing past. Boss, I'm not a pauper. I don't need anything from him. I only wanted his attention to plead with him to lobby for our non-existent roads in his constituency where I live. Council, I felt so bad, and I told my wife later I will support his removal from his post. They should keep being busy. They will learn the hard way.
So it's a very thin line between being busy and ignoring people. That we have to be honest. There's a thin line.
I have asked, out of anger, I have asked some senior man before. You are always, so who are you not supposed to be busy for me? All your busyness. It's about
busy
me
for
and
you
for
doesn't
me,
mean
right?
I have to be attending to you at every time. When the work
No. Of course. But you know how some have managed this. And luckily for us, this job has brought us into contact with all manner of politicians. I have entered offices where the politician has a dedicated desk officer receiving constituents and party people, asking them what their problems are, sieving out the ones that need to get to the direct attention. So, Mawuena, you come in, you need something. The desk officer cannot immediately deal with it. Then, okay, I'll schedule you. You meet honorable on this day at this time. Problem solved. I have also seen politicians and met politicians who would just walk into their lobby or the waiting area. Okay, you are all here to see me. Nice one. We have 10 minutes. Each of you will take 30 seconds. And we call that exists even in business. That is what we call the elevator pitch. You have
come 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Hit it.
What is your problem? Again, I have seen politicians who have set up a conference room in their offices, and they have designated specific days as meeting days with party people, with constituents. You come on that day, he is there from time A to time B.
Some actually
you
try
sit
to
around
meet
the
you
table
before office hours starts.
Exactly.
I know some who make it a point to meet you before
the official office
so
working hours
you have
start.
to meet them before 8 a.m.
Exactly. So if you really want to meet the person is available. As to the time the person is available is not your business. If the person is available at 7 a.m. and you say you can't wake up and get to the person's office at 7 a.m., we will not blame the person for that. We'll blame you.
Because will the person understand?
No, it is not for the person to understand. You see, and that is where we also have to be principled. Because we need to also understand that the office holder is there to work for the republic.
That's why I say this all goes back to jobs. The second aspect is the nature in which we practice our politics.
Yes, which is not a problem we will solve today or tomorrow.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that the nature is such that you and I seated around this table have agreed that they have to work. For the position they've been given is not to be there to be receiving party supporters.
No.
Otherwise, the economy will crash on all of us.
And I have also seen an arrangement where between a minister and his deputy, they agreed that all the
persons who are coming.
The party people, party-related issues, they'll all come to you, deputy. If there's something that I cannot deal with, or some serious chairman comes from some constituency. So usually depending on the weight of the person and the weight of the problem, then, the minister can just dash in, say hello, and move on. But it worked out flawlessly for the two of them. There was because the deputy was not, is it selfish? Was not trying to claim all the glory. Oh, I'm the one available. The deputy managed it perfectly well. After all, what's the job description of a deputy minister?
You see, when you say it like this too, the governance watchers will say, so we appointed a deputy minister to go and sit and be receiving party officials.
I know, but we have made this argument before. It is one of the reasons why some of us constantly spoke against appointing deputy regional ministers, because they were useless in that position. They will just be there. The regional minister himself, we are still questioning the relevance of a regional minister. It's a constitutional mention. But we are still trying to, when you deal with all these governance people and you look at the architecture and all of that,
I'm just raising
that conversation is still ongoing.
Yeah.
Now you have a deputy regional minister. That's just an example. Deputy regional minister.
That one.
Who is sitting in the office probably reading newspapers all day.
We came to the conclusion that it wasn't one
it was a very needless.
It wasn't one.
Somebody decided to even appoint executive secretary in addition to deputy regional minister. That was when we started raising the alarm bells.
Let me say a good morning to Jonas Ahiaku, aka Butima, who's also doing the listening this morning. He says you have a lot on your chest this morning.
No, actually, it's a lot. It's a lot. So, I have seen all sorts of arrangements that have worked. I don't expect any appointee to be so burdened. Beyond all, you also have a family. You probably have a wife and some kids you have to pay attention to. So your life cannot be all about meeting people. So how you structure it, how you arrange it, if it doesn't sit well with whoever is seeing you, if it comes out, reasonable people will speak for you, stand with you, and speak for you. Because we don't also expect you to sit in the office 24/7 and be receiving visitors. We'll ask them to sack you. You see? So it's a certain balance that some politicians have managed to strike through the years. Again, I wish I could mention names here. And it seemed to be working for them, or to have worked for them. That there is not a single person who will say, oh, I went to his office and I couldn't meet him. They will rather say, I went to his office and the boys stopped me from meeting him. I've heard that one too. So when it gets to that level, the people know that as for you, you are available to meet them. You are always ready to listen. Like I said, it doesn't have to be 5 minutes. It can even be 30 seconds. But the fact that you pay attention to the people also matters.
Right.
Please, answer your phone calls.
All right. I'm sure we can get into one or two other matters.
I wanted to quickly read those stories from court. It's a necessary update for us. So let me do the Wuntumi one. So Wuntumi is captured on page 3 of the Daily Guide newspaper. It says that a High Court in Accra has set March 16 to decide an application filed by lawyers for Ashanti Regional Chairman of the party, who is accused of facilitating others to mine on his Akonta mining concession at Samraboy without lawful. What was the application?
So, submission of no case.
No, but it is not. Yes, I thought that was, but it seems it's a different application. Okay. So the court's decision will determine whether or not the Attorney General has made a strong case against him to warrant a defense. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, submission
on
of
page
no case.
6 of the same paper, on the NPA matter involving former Mustafa Hamid, former CEO. Story is filed by court's press corps member Abdul Razak, Jibril Abdul Razak, says that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has agreed to use one of the 7 individuals accused of extorting more than 291 million Ghana cedis in the National Petroleum Authority case as a prosecution witness. This was after the accused Albert Ankra, a director and shareholder of Propnest Limited, approached the office to cut a deal, claiming he had been misled into certain acts. Adlit Kobiri Wood, a principal prosecutor at the OSP, told the trial court yesterday that the office has since taken a decision not to prosecute Albert, but rather put Albert before the court as a witness. And as a quote, the change in the status of Mr. Ankra resulted in the court's inability to conduct the scheduled case management conference, as the OSP said it would have to amend and file a new charge sheet to reflect only the remaining accused persons and companies. Joseph Penka, counsel for Dr. Mustafa Hamid, was not impressed about the latest development, pointing out that it had been 9 months since the accused persons were first arraigned, and nothing has happened since. He added that the prosecution has changed the charge sheet 3 times in those 9 months, noting that the defense cannot tutor the OSP, but the court must take notice of the development and previous orders made on the OSP. Case adjourned to March 24, that is some 2 weeks away. Yes, so that is some 2 weeks away for continuation. That is, so those are the court cases that we are following, the prosecutions that we are following.
Right.
So
this one is very interesting because
Which one?
The Dr. Mustafa Hamid one.
Okay.
I think yesterday I didn't quite get the story while I was on air. What the indication I got initially was that the OSP were the ones who were seeking to drop the charges against him and have him come through as a prosecution witness. But this story is providing a bit more for me as well, that he is the one approaching the OSP and saying, oh, drop the charges against me and I will come in as prosecution witness.
Yeah.
That
is always it's always an option open out to.
No, I know.
I'm sorry.
It's
always an option for accused persons in such criminal trials.
But I am thinking what this does in terms of, I mean, you still have to do beyond reasonable doubt, which is the standard of proof and all of that. But when an accused person comes and says, I know all about what you are saying, cut me a deal and let me give you the evidence. It suggests there's an element of wrongdoing, which and this, I'm not talking low, I'm just doing psyche and conversation. It suggests there's an element of, yes, I know that we did some wrong, but I don't want to suffer for it. Let me help you nail maybe a bigger person, because we see that a lot, where the small crime will come in. And so I think within the psyche, this could...
Yes, I did this, but this person is who led me to
this. Yes, instigated.
And in the mind of the investigator or the prosecutor, this is a bigger fish. Let me sacrifice a smaller fish to fry the bigger fish. It happens. And you see, you, like as you yourself said, it does not in any way change the obligation on the prosecution to prove.
Absolutely.
Again, it does not in any way guarantee a successful prosecution.
Because you have to still prove beyond...
Yes.
In the court of public opinion, it goes to say that, oh, if this person says he was part of it and now he's... then
there must be something.
Yes.
But it could also be a trap.
I'm saying, and I'm making the point as well in relation to the perception of the country's criminal justice system and this recent wave of oral and its associated expectation. When you have an accused person come through and is saying that I will testify against the bigger fish. In the court of public opinion, it begins to look like,
it
this one,
the optics.
The case is done. You get what I'm saying?
Why are you going for? Why are you struggling with the won't me example?
Akwako.
Yes.
Who was
me? I have to think about myself and my family.
No,
and his own was even more dramatic.
Yes.
His own was more. This is the manager of the mine, who says that, well, we did something. I have some story to tell you, which may help your case. Because me at the time, I didn't know that this was happening. I was misled into this, which is the same song I think Albert Ankra is singing in this Mustafa Hamid case.
I want to see how it plays out, because I've seen the AG as well adopt that strategy, using accused persons.
But it's also a strategy that prosecutors have always been cautious with, because look, as I said, you could be misled, and the person may just, in trying to save his own skin, say things that are not true.
Yeah.
So it is not always automatic that, this person's flipping a particular witness or suspect into, or accused person into a witness necessarily strengthens your case. There's a lot that's investigation that would have to happen, consideration of all the testimony and documents that the person is bringing before you eventually agree that, look, this person indeed can contribute to our case. So let us take him. Let us, give him let's cut him a certain deal that would make him not suffer what he otherwise would have suffered,
right,
or not as much as he otherwise would have suffered, so that in exchange for that we get the testimony. Because that deal could actually also even influence the person's testimony, which is the reason why it's not advisable for the prosecution to be the one actively chasing the witness,
right, in
trying to flip the witness.
Yeah, because in that way you force a person. Right, we'll make way for sports, and I mentioned Jonas Yaku, who was listening. Today happens to be his birthday as well, and so a happy birthday to Jonas Yaku, aka Booty, from all of us with the NPLEG Foundation and a host of other guys from there. We're in a group where I'm the only person who is not married. So
congratulations.
You can imagine.
How did you manage that feat?
They are always dropping videos of fathers carrying children, asking questions and what have you. But a happy birthday to.
But I'm sure you're able to contribute to some of the discussions.
Oh, in my small might. Not with all of the experience. I don't like to do plenty advice about marriage because I'm not there yet. But in my small might, I contribute to all of the conversations. And so a happy birthday to Jonas Ahiako. Mutala is here. He will do sport for us. Champions League. Oh, yesterday Spurs
but before the Champions League, I actually came to ask you something. Because I've been away for like 2 weeks because of the burial of my late parents, and I saw something on social media. It's actually divided opinion, and it generated a lot of debate. Now somebody has a private company, the person wants to do a program outside the country, goes to Gold Board, seeks sponsorship, does the program, and there's a lot of outrage on social media. Now I want to find out, because this is your domain, is it that Gold Board erred in sponsoring a private entity? So what is the fuss about this? No, I just want to understand.
So
Gold Board has not aired.
They didn't air.
It is not wrong. Every public institution has what they call
corporate
the corporate social responsibility.
Okay.
A task,
CSR.
Yes, a task on the institution
to give back to society.
Give back to society in ways that would directly impact society.
Okay.
So you recall the NLA, Samir Oku and the NLA Foundation, Goodwill Foundation,
which also generated a lot of,
which also generated.
Yeah, I remember.
So it is not wrong. It is not wrong that Gold Board Jewelry decided to sponsor a particular event.
If I'm clearly understanding what you're saying, there's gold board and there's
gold board
jewelry.
jewelry.
There
So
are
this
two
was
different-
sponsored by
two
Gold
different entities.
Yes.
Okay.
There are two different entities. Now, how or the persons in charge of or who run the event
Okay.
or who own the company that ran the event, they are the reason for the outrage you see.
Oh, okay.
It comes down to pure party politics.
Okay,
It says that this person is not one of our own. This person has been attacking you.
Oh, okay. So why
From
do you
your
go?
opposition
Why
days.
do you go ahead
Why
to help?
are you now going
Okay,
ahead to
so
give money
Yeah,
Then-
to this person?
that's
Then
a
I understand.
conversation.
That's
I
all-
understand where
that's
the
all
outrage
of
is
it.
coming
but
from.
on
So
on
the
all.
persons, the individual,
Yes, the individual.
is what is causing this.
But
Yes.
on this gold board jury, I think the point Sixtus makes is where all of this is about actually. But I tend to see a lot of wisdom in the argument which was put forward by Kwame Asare-Obeng, A+. Yesterday he made a post that
on Facebook. I saw the post. I read through.
You saw that post.
He
too. I
cited
think I agree
Rwanda,
with him.
visit to Rwanda and all that. Yeah.
It is an expensive venture, but one that will bring the yields if you proceed.
But he
I
says
think
something that is
the
very
anger
true.
is because of the
He
personality.
says something
who
that is
receives
very
the-
true in
the
that
support.
post. He says that we like to praise others when they do it, but when it's been done, because we all praise Rwanda.
Yeah.
Hey, Charlie, you are sponsoring
Arsenal and all
that is
that.
huge. It increases their tourism. But if we try that here, it would cause chaos. Okay, so down with that issue. Sixtus, I came to ask you a very simple question.
You have plenty of
Andre-
simple questions.
Andre, are you
One.
take or leave up?
He's not going to the World Cup. He's not going to the World Cup.
Oh, no,
It's not. It's
no,
not. It's
no,
not.
no,
Wait,
no,
I'll
no,
come
no.
to you.
Let me
Andre,
answer
are
you.
you?
Yes.
No, Sixtus has a lot
Let
of
me-
interest when it comes to Black Stars. That is
Yes.
why I'm asking you. Take or leave.
Ask
Because
me the
people
question.
like Edem Agbana are making the case that okay, he served the country well. It could be a farewell time. for
I
him.
listened to Edem Agbana Honorable on that. In fact, I listened to the interview he granted,
Okay.
and in fact, thank you for bringing it up. I'll ask you a question on that one too.
Oh,
Dede Ayew, Asamoah Gyan, Stephen Appiah,
Yeah.
Suleiman Tare. There's a last one. Okay, just Michael Essien. These five.
Yeah.
We need them at the World Cup, not on the field of play,
Okay.
but to be there to bridge that gap. That's, that fear. Take it away. Tell the boys.
mentality.
That
They are
mentality
there
that
for-
you don't
for the
have the
psychology
experience,
of the player.
you don't have the exposure, but you can do it because we did it when we were where you are
But
now.
most of the boys currently in the team have even played the World Cup before.
Granted, but the team has suffered so
You might think
much.
Semenyo is new. He was there in the 2022 World Cup. Inaki Williams has been there. Thomas Partey has been there.
Granted.
Mohamed Kudus has been
Granted.
there. Jiku has been
Granted.
there. Almost every.
But the team
Yeah.
has suffered so much image damage
Okay.
and confidence loss. If I continue, I mentioned the coach, but I will not continue.
You know, I asked you one question. I asked you a very
That's what I
simple.
said.
Take or leave.
and I've
Take or
answered.
leave. You've not answered.
Okay. When you say take off or leave, you mean on the field of play?
No, taking him. Would you take him to the World Cup
Yes.
or you leave him behind?
I will take him to the World Cup
Because
he will provide a critical intervention to the player.
which intervention?
Psychological,
Is he a
moral.
psychologist?
No, he doesn't have to
You
be.
ask me the question.
He doesn't.
I would ask you. I'm coming to you. Okay, take or leave. Sixtus says
okay.
he will take him along. Take or leave.
Leave.
Why?
Because the Black Stars is not a place where we say that, oh, this person has done this for us, or the World Cup is not a stage where we are going to sit down and have a conversation and say, oh, this person has done this for us for a very long time, and so let's take him there. I understand. We take players there.
But he's been there 19 years.
I want to make the point. We don't always, all 20, it used to be 23 man, all 26 players do not necessarily go and play.
At
There
all.
are those,
Yeah.
there are those who go and provide a certain backing. There are some individuals who are when they are present in the group, it allows a certain cohesion. It allows
Understandable.
a
Exactly
certain-
my point.
A certain level of understanding. But unfortunately, you sports journalists are one of the reasons why we come back to having these conversations.
Why are you lumping us all together?
Wait, when I finish making the point, you'll understand.
You make the point.
At the last AFCON we were at,
In Cote d'Ivoire.
yes, the sports journalists who were there know what happened with the Black Stars.
Yeah.
And know what happened with our captain at the time, where without express instruction of the coach, he began to warm up. The stories are there. They don't want to. They don't want to say.
There was a spat between him and Chris Hilton.
They don't want to say.
Yeah, there was a bit of friction.
No,
So
but you see,
I would have
but
made
in
the
fairness-
argument that
in
he
fairness to
goes.
them-
No, I'll make the point that I would have made the argument that he goes, and will not necessarily start. But what are the assurances we go and we don't see
Okay.
similar or such
So
instances?
one thing I know about
Then-
Which
then-
will
then I
create,
shouldn't
because
mention
we've had issues
going
of
by-
discipline.
one thing I know about Andre.
at the World Cup,
know
not
that?
One thing I know
one,
about
Let me
Andre
give
is
you
that
another
one thing.
example.
No, that's the legitimate basis
when
upon
Otuado
which-
came back as the Black Stars head coach, his first press conference, he made it known that he went to France, had a conversation with Andre Ayew. Andre Ayew did not like the conversation. Listen,
Yes, I
Andre
recall that
Ayew
press
did not
conference.
like the conversation.
Yes.
But that was the best decision he, Otuado, was taking for the team as at that time. Now, there's a reason why they moved the number 10 from Andre Ayew to Mohamed Kudus. It looks like, from all indication, that
That he was
Otuado
done.
wants to move
Yeah.
on from
moving on.
Andre
away
Ayew.
from
Yeah.
the Ayew generation.
No,
Not
not
the
Ayew
Ayew generation, because there's still
Ayew
Jordan.
particularly.
Andre Ayew. He wants to move on from Andre Ayew. Now, the question many are asking is, if you know Andre Ayew personally, he's a very strong character. Would he even accept to be a bit part player at the World Cup? Because there's one thing with Andre Ayew, he believes he is the best. When he's fit, he believes he is the best. Would he agree to be part of the team and play a bit part?
Phil
That is a
has
big
very
question.
strong opinion, and
has
for
a very
me,
strong
I think we
opinion.
should
that
give-
is the
I think we
basis.
should give- I think we should give Phil a microphone.
That is the basis upon
But
which
you know
I
there's
make-
something clear that is
I
happening.
make
What?
the
It looks
point.
like the political,
there's a lot of
society,
politics.
the political society, the political class, they seem to back Ayew. It looks like, oh, Monfanenko, Nonko body
see-
last.
you
He's
see,
playing
the
at
two
Nagbeda.
of you-
And it looks like the football
two of you-
connoisseurs are fighting against that. They feel that he's not in the best of shape.
No, but you don't need to be in the best of shape. You see, the
but
two of you
Sixtus,
have
you are going to
said,
play a
no,
tournament.
relax
Sixtus,
for me.
you are going to
Relax
play a
for me.
tournament.
Relax for me.
If you want to make
I
the
made
point
a specific
on
point
best of shape,
based on the question that you asked me.
Yeah.
And the two of you have talked about discipline. You have talked about team play,
Yeah.
being a team player, being a part of a bigger puzzle.
Yeah.
That's the point you have raised. You have also raised the question, or people have raised the point of shape.
Yeah.
Number one, we don't need him to be in shape for anything.
And then
He's
what?
not going to
then
play.
Mawuena, he's not going to play. Then why are you taking him and blocking someone's chance?
but that is the question I asked you. Are we putting
So you
him
need
on
him-
the field
you-
of play? Your response was no.
Would he accept not to be part
He's
of the
going
whole
merely
squad?
as look at him as an ambassador.
then he's not part of the 26-man squad. He can be part of the
No,
technical
that was
team.
the understanding based on which I answered
so
the
you need a
question.
motivator.
Oh, no.
You
Yeah,
need a
you do.
motivator.
That
That is why I mentioned other names.
As someone just to appear part of the team,
There's
then they
no
can
bigger-
motivate.
there's
why
no
I
bigger
mentioned
motivation.
There's no
other
bigger voice
names.
than Stephen Appiah in that dressing room. If Stephen Appiah speaks, it carries more weight than
But
any other.
I mentioned
any other name.
Appiah, right?
So why, if you have a Samoja, you have Appiah in there. Why would you want to take somebody that is still actively playing football
Okay.
and not?
So what is
not
the
to allow-
I have to
relationship?
round out the conversation.
Okay, let me ask him my question before. So in that interview that the honorable member for Katy North granted, he also made a controversial point. He admitted it was controversial, but
The fans.
insisted that taking fans
yeah.
out, and he said that if you have $90,000 to take 10 people from my constituency, I beg you, give me that $90,000.
Let me build an
I will go
AstroTurf.
and build an AstroTurf or a mini sports stadium in my place.
Yeah.
It's a complex one because you
Sports
need
stadium
you
or
need,
outing?
you need
Sports stadium.
fans.
It's as simple as any other thing that you can ask me. Sports stadium. It would serve the greater good of the people. There's a reason why FIFA even gives Ghana a quota. You know, the whole of Ghana, we're only giving 12 slots for journalists. There's a reason why FIFA does that. FIFA looks at the strength of teams,
Of your football.
or of your football. and decides to give you that slot. FIFA knows that, okay, Ghana is not, when we are talking about some of the best nations, Ghana is not part. So FIFA will not even give you an extended slot. There's a reason why. Anything that benefits the greater good of the people, I will go for it. If you want to take 10 fans from Ghana to US to have that experience.
There are a lot of Ghanaians in the US.
Atlanta. They need the bus to the stadium.
So they should go.
Yes. I mean,
either ways, you still spend.
You still spend, but it will be less cheaper.
Mitigate
because, I mean, flights and all that. You just need the bus and your tickets to get these people to the stadium. So for me,
so let's mobilize Ghanaians.
Adam was making the perfect point that if you want to take 10 people from my course, give
me the
it
money.
to me. It will benefit in the end. 100 people.
Talent.
Yes, 100 people will be developed in that area as against the
10 people.
How many of them will want to come back?
And you go and worry
but
about
that's the development.
That's we'll get into the rest of the sports.
Let's do some sports here on 3FM's Sunrise. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Coming up this morning, Ghana captain, that is Jordan Ayew, is very confident that the Black Stars will perform well at the World Cup. And also, John Pinto, who is the performance coach of the Black Stars, believes that Ghana can hold their own against England at the 2026 World Cup. And in the UEFA Champions League, Newcastle losing out in the end as Barcelona got a point against them. And Bayern Munich also put in 6 past Atalanta. Let's now settle for the details and start off from the camp of the Black Stars, where with 93 days to the 2026 World Cup, Ghana's high-performance coach John Pinto says he expects a difficult game when the Black Stars face England. Ghana will meet England in their second game at the Mundial on June 23rd, despite the only encounter between the sides ending in a 1-1 draw. Pinto says he expects the Black Stars to pull through against the Three Lions.
Playing in England, especially even the friendly match we played in England some years back, it was beautiful. The crowd was, the colors, you know, they believe the quality in Ghanaians, and the Ghanaians also believe the quality England has. So it's going to be beautiful, and it's not going to be just football. It's going to be more than football. And then for me, as a technical team, we are looking forward to it. It's always going to be crucial. We will say it's a local derby, although they are far from Africa, but I see it as a local derby. You know, when it comes to local derby, the one who wants more can go for it. And I believe Ghana, we know what we want, and we are not going to underrate anything during the competition. So it's going to be dog eat dog, but at the end of the day, I believe that we will take the day. I think, was it Clint Dempsey? I sent him a message. And then I said I was looking forward to meet you in my group. And he was just laughing. He said, but you are in England. Yeah. So you are going to England, you play against Fulham. I said, no, this is not Fulham. This is English we are going to play against. Yeah. So, like, I have that rapport with Clint Dempsey. Yeah. During our time, he believed that he's African, he's not American. So that's why whenever he play aggressively and all. But yeah, like I said, there has been a lot of messages. Even our Ghanaian people who live in England always send me.
John Pinto is a high-performance coach for the Black Stars of Ghana. Now, still on the Black Stars, captain Jordan Ayew has backed the current squad to rise to the and Canada. Ghana have been joining Group L of the tournament alongside England, Panama, and Croatia, following a strong finish to the qualifiers, 5 wins and a draw in their final 6 games. Ayew believes the core group of players who secured qualification are capable of representing the country at the global showpiece.
I think the players that have played the qualifiers have done extremely well. I don't think we need any additions. I think that we have a good team. I think that as time goes on, we're improving. We're improving, you know. We don't have much time to train together. We always have 1 or 2 days, then we play a game. So it's not always easy, but as time goes on, we're improving, we're getting to gel, we're getting to know each other, the unity is getting better, everything is being positive, everything is growing. So I don't think it's the right time.
That is Jordan Ayew, the captain of the Black Stars. Let's wrap up the Black Star conversation here with the general manager of Sports and Media General, Michael Otieje, who believes Andre Ayew will struggle to make Ghana's final squad for the 2026 World Cup. His comment comes in the wake of Andre Ayew's first goal for NAC Brother, which has generated a buzz on social media.
Otuado's decision not to call the day, it's not a footballing decision. Otuado, like Amy Jacquet did in the 1998 World Cup, has a right to make a non-footballing decision about who gets into his squad for the World Cup. You could also argue that this is partly a footballing decision because a coach can then decide that when I want pace, I want a certain level of play in my team, and I don't think this player, regardless of how well they are doing at club level, has that. Is the day are you doing so well at the at club level? It's relative. We've seen the numbers. But I have also said that he's not doing any worse than a lot of the players who have a claim to be in the national team. And I think ultimately from everything I know and from every background that I know, I think that we are moving towards a situation where Otuado simply does not want to have Dede Ayew in his team. It's been obvious for a very long time. It's been obvious from the first day he addressed the press conference. He struggled to put himself together when he was answering that question. It's been obvious in his call-outs. It's been obvious when he was scoring goals for Le Havre. And I have a feeling it will stay this particular way. All I hear when I hear the argument for why did they should go to the World Cup, it's a sense that you need to take him to the World Cup as a sort of thank you gesture, as a sort of brilliant farewell. And I'm not sure even he would like that. He will make this an incredibly difficult decision for
That is Michael Otieje, the general manager for Sports and Media General, on talking about Dede Ayew and why he may struggle to get into the Black Star squad for the World Cup. Let's head to Europe, where the knockout stage of the UEFA Champions League delivered drama on Tuesday night as the round of 16 first leg matches got underway. In Istanbul, Galatasaray secured a narrow 1-0 victory over Liverpool, with Mario Lemina scoring the decisive goal early in the match to hand the Turkish champions a slim advantage heading into the second game. Now, over in Italy, Bayern Munich produced a ruthless attacking display, thrashing Atlanta 6-1 to put one foot firmly in the quarterfinals. In Spain, Atletico Madrid delivered one of the standout performances of the night, hammering Tottenham Hotspur by 5-2 in a dominant display at the Wanda Metropolitano. And in England, Newcastle were held to a 1-1 draw in a tightly contested encounter at the St. James's Park. After the game, head coach of FC Barcelona, Hansi Flick, says although he's happy with the result, he was not happy with the performance.
Yes, of course, I'm happy with the result. Not happy how we played with the ball, but I'm happy with the defense. And we made in the defense a really good game. We defend well against this team because the atmosphere was unbelievable, but also a very dynamic team, press us a lot, and with a lot of speed. Was not easy to play.
Hansi Flick is the manager of Barcelona. His opposite number, that is Eddie Howe, believes that this is his side's best performance this season.
Yeah, really tough. I think focusing on the game itself, I thought we were outstanding. Really good performance against a very good team. I thought we were very good in both halves. We kept the intensity up, which is very difficult to do against them for so long in the game. And yeah, the moment at the end obviously taints that in a negative light, but I think one of our best performances.
That is Eddie Howe. Now, attention turns to another exciting night of action in the UEFA Champions League as games will come off today. In Germany, Bayer Leverkusen will host Arsenal in an early kickoff clash as both sides battle for a crucial advantage heading into the second leg. In Norway, a surprise package that is Bodo Glimt welcome Portuguese giants Sporting CP, with the hosts hoping to continue their impressive European round. Meanwhile, in Paris, our defending champions Paris Saint-Germain will face a stand test as they come up against Chelsea. And in Spain, two European heavyweights meet as Real Madrid take on Manchester City at the Santiago Bernabeu. Ahead of the game, head coach of Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, believes his side needs to focus and stick with the game plan.
Emotions come when you play bad or the opponent is better. And after the emotions can be influenced. And so it's not the first time we are here. We came many times, most of players know it, and try to... This kind of competitions, that's so important. You never know what is going to happen, but for sure, definitely cannot happen good things if you are not who you are. It's impossible. You have to face the game, face the opponent in an incredible respect, but looking his eyes, I said, okay, so this is who we are as a team, and you have to do it. Well, maybe you are lucky and go through, but the next one you will not be lucky. So you have to do who you are, and that is the only intention, that when you play in a bigger stages and being against the big teams, and knowing that, of course, we'll be in 180 minutes moment for the both teams, and as much you control the bad moments or the good moments of them, will be better.
Pep Guardiola, manager of Manchester City, and they will be playing tonight against Real Madrid. Ahead of Arsenal's game tonight, their head coach Mikel Arteta believes his side needs to put away their impressive group stage performance and focus on the knockout stage.
Yeah, obviously you start the second part of the campaign, and you know what is at stake. We start to play games when you are in or you are out. There is no margin for maneuver, and we're going to face a very difficult contest tomorrow against a really good team.
Let's do some community stories where, as part of its commitment to build 100 courts across Africa, Giants of Africa unveils 46 courts in Sabah in Central Region, built in partnership with actor and comedian Michael Blackson. Now here is Michael Blackson's reaction after the unveiling.
Great feeling, man. You know, when I built this school, it was just education was the only thing, was important thing on my mind, and now it's expanded into sports. You know, I ran into Messiah in NBA All-Star Weekend last year in San Francisco, California, and he was a fan of my work. He knew about the school that I built, and he wanted to put some contribution to the school. And his background is basketball, and he said, we want to build a basketball court at your school. I'm like, wow, I couldn't believe it. And now here, less than a year later, we're here at this masterpiece that Giants of Africa built. It's a great feeling. I mean, I'm glad I was able to come back home and give back to the community. I think the most important thing, man, we cannot forget where we came from. And I never forgot, and now I'm back here providing education, now providing a place for them to play sports and playgrounds, you know. So thank you to everybody that supported me from day one, you know, and thanks to the continent, man, for raising me. Because I think that's what it is. I think if you're raised right, and the continent raised me right. And I'm just glad to be here. And I appreciate everything that's going on right now.
American-based actor and comedian Michael Blackson there. Now, finally, before we go, Kyle Walker has announced his retirement from the English national team after 96 caps. Walker's England will take on Ghana at the 2026 World Cup.
The memories. It's the memories, and you don't dream of playing for England. Okay, you can dream of playing for my boyhood club in Sheffield United and think, okay, you know, maybe that's possible. Dream of winning a Premier League. It's possible, but to play for your country, there's not many people that can say that they've done that. It comes with great pride that I'm going to be announcing my international retirement. Some of you are going to be buzzing, some of you might be a little bit sad. I would just like to say thank you. The managers that I've worked under, from Capello to Hodgson to Lee Carsley to Gareth Southgate and to Thomas, I would just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for what.
That is Kyle Walker. They're currently playing for Burnley, and he has announced his retirement from international football. And that brings us to the end of the sports updates here on 3FM Sunrise. My name is Mutala Yakubu. There's more sports on all our socials, R3 Sports GH. Don't go nowhere. The show continues after this.
on 3FM.
3FM Sunrise.
No so far, so time to do shady. You buy your time to do so crowd. Get up and do something good for yourselves. Then bring you one mother, sing you and you be a blah. Get up and do something good for yourselves. The time and time wait for no man, and you be a blah.
20 past 8, still here on the 3FM Sunrise. Now, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust SNIT is reminding members and the public that they no longer need to visit any of its branches to access services. With the introduction of the SNIT virtual branch, members can conveniently access services remotely, anytime and from anywhere. Using the SNIT app, USSD, by dialing star 711 star 9 hash, or the SNIT portal, portal.snit.org.gh. Services available include member registration, benefit processing, update of personal records, and general enquiries. For seamless access to SNIT's 24-hour virtual services, kindly call SNIT at 0302-611-622 to interact with us. SNIT, we deliver on our promise.
Live your life at it, chase your dreams. Leave a mark, make you not just exist. Action, wake up, now or never. Don't die as a waste man, no yawa.
Now listen to this. If you're coming to Pram, you belong to First HR Hotel. We focus on three things: peace, people, and quality. It's a serene escape with legendary service and world-class comfort. We are not just a hotel, we are your home for tranquility. Reach us on 050-3359-598 or 0303-989-737. You should book First HR Heights because we don't just provide a room, we provide a reset. Our guests tell us they feel an immediate sense of peace the moment they walk in. A rare kind of assurance that lets their tensions just melt away. If if you're looking for a sanctuary where the staff genuinely respect your peace and treats you like family, we are your first and only choice. We're also located in town, just about 25 minutes drive to the Accra Business Center. You can reach us on 0256 060 665 or 0256 070 666. Gobe, oh Gobe. Now, Ghana, if you love Gobe, stand up, because the Gobe Festival is back and Prince Derek is already on his feet. And we're back bigger and better. As always, it's not just food, it's an entire experience. Let's go. On Saturday, the 28th of March, we're bringing together the most die-hard Gobe lovers for a day of pure vibes. The best Gobe vendors, non-stop music, performances, games, and the kind of energy you only get when you and your favorite people gather around your favorite meal. From corporate to campus, celebrities to the real Gobe connoisseurs, everybody, when I say everybody, I mean everybody is pulling up in their Afrocentric attire. So gather your squad, come hungry, come ready to rep Gobe the way it deserves. When you chop money, Gobe Festival this Saturday, on Saturday the 28th of March at the Legon City Mall. Eat, vibe, celebrate. Don't miss it. It's powered by 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio. And let me talk to you about the Ghana Month Expedition. The 4-day Ghana Month Expedition runs from the 19th to the 22nd of this month of March, exploring 3 key regions: Eastern, Ashanti, and Central. And let me talk to you about the itinerary. So day 1, we're in the Eastern region. We're doing a cocoa eco tour, chocolate demo plus fruit tasting. Then we're at the Safari Valley. We're having lunch there with exotic animals. We're doing bird watching and the nature walk as well. Then we do the Bunzo Eco Park, canopy walk, zipline swings. And then you're at the Rock City Hotel for dinner, party with DJ Faculty and DJ Abiab. That's just day 1. On day 2, we're in the Ashanti region. On the 20th, we're in the Ashanti region. We're doing a tour of the Menchia Palace. We're looking at the Komfanoche sword. We're going to the Bonre Kente. We're having lunch at Lake Bosomche. We're going to the Trident Resort, zipline hiking, and then the overnight at Rich Condo. Then on the final day, day 3, we're in the Central region. We're looking at the Asinman to Slave River, the Cape Coast Castle, lunch on the coast, and then dinner and live band at Ridge Royal. Day 4, still in the Central region on the 22nd, we're doing Crown Forest, and then we're doing a daycation, the safari, water sports, quad biking, horse riding, archery, pool and games. We do some tree planting with Forestry Commission, then we return to Accra. And all of this is costing you a cool 6,500 cedis if you're single. Oh, it's it's a super deal. A super deal. 6,500 cedis. You get to sleep at Rock City, Rich Condos, Safari Valley. If you're sharing the room, 5,500. Couples were doing 10,500. It's really, really, really cool. 053-110-0927 and 0247-120-633 are the numbers you can call for registration. The Ghana Month Expedition. Don't watch Ghana, experience it. Now, when we return from this break, we get into our big conversations here. My guests are already seated, and so we'll delve into some of the matters we've already begun to talk about, right? We'll get into it properly when we return after this break. Stay with us.
The Ghana Exim Bank is 10 years old. Hooray! And to commemorate this milestone, the Ghana Exim Bank is hosting a two-day international conference on the theme, A Decade of Enabling Export Trade and Industrial Transformation, Resetting Gexim for the Next Frontier. The event takes place on the 25th to 26th of March at the Kempinski Hotel, Gold Coast City, 8 a.m. each day. President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, will perform the official opening of the conference. Special guest and speaker, Honorable Elizabeth Ofosue-Jari, Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. Conference host is Honorable Sylvester Adina Mensah, Chief Executive of the Ghana Exim Bank. For inquiries, call 0208-541-480 or visit eximbankghana.com/conference to register. Media partners, Daily Graphic, Media General, The Multimedia Group, City FM, Radio Gold and Channel 1 TV. And knowledge partners include IFC and SME Finance Forum.
Want fast, fun, and rewarding games right on your phone? Welcome to BaziCash, where playing is easy and winning is exciting. Getting started is simple. Just dial *245# on any network to access the BaziCash menu. Choose from exciting games like Ghana Jollof, Goldmine, or Trotro. Choose your stake from 1 cedi to 1,000 cedis. You receive a confirmation SMS instantly. No cash out. You are paid directly into your Momo account when you win. This game is for 18 years and above. BaziCash, fast, easy, and accessible to everyone. Dial *245# now and start playing today. BaziCash is in partnership with NLA on the Caritas platform.
Always remember, every ticket qualifies for a monthly jackpot, and you can win up to 50,000 cedis. Visit our website on www.bazicash.online and on Telegram.
3FM Sunrise.
Okay, who said we can't do it so? Make room. Okay. What's on the gym? What you play? Hey, champion attack. I am with the air. Okay, commander fire. Oja. Oh, no, mommy. Next wada. Every papa. Oh man, shock. Narin waswa. Na got nura aba. Come on, short ale. Packing, jacking. Na marameta. Say I was here. One man saying you dead. Me for two. Engine not a little fool. Bayira and go from 1 to 2 until the cocoa never drove.
29 to the top of the hour. We're getting into our big conversations right now. My guest in studio, Ebu Bachman, who's the director or Deputy Director of Communications for the United Party. The party, as Edwin Kitia was telling the MPP, you are elevating them when they were holding cocoa pots in Parliament. As well, Prince Derek J is a member of the NDC communications team, joining us in studio this morning. Then Mark Ewusi Akko is a convener of Election Watch Ghana. They've all joined me in studio this morning. Gentlemen, good morning to you. I trust that you're all well.
Oh, you're from the...
Right. We're getting into quite some interesting development. One of the many issues we have in table for conversation, but perhaps I want to pick quick thoughts on, particularly from Prince Derek J, is jobs, because his people are angry. They said the police recruitment and what have you, it hasn't gone their way as they would expect. What have you. But also big on the agenda is that audits yesterday by the Auditor General, which details were made public on the floor of the House by the Deputy Finance Minister. I'm just going to take us to listen to brief excerpts of that by the Deputy Finance Minister, I should say, Dr. Ampem Nyako, on the revelations. And then we'll return and then we'll begin a conversation.
Which is so unfair.
Oh,
he did.
I've greeted you.
I didn't hear.
Oh.
He didn't even ask how we're doing.
Prince. This allegation, which where there is evidence cut across.
Well, listeners are the best judges. I was listening to you actually on my way here, and that's informed my outfit today. Today is Fugu Day, and since my brothers and yourself, you have all defied.
We are
still within the African.
We are in the
Ghana man.
Yes.
Yeah, Ghana man. This one doesn't look like Ghana fabric. Oh, this one, yes. This one, yes. It was sold here in Ghana.
The handwork was in Ghana.
Yes. Okay. I think it will suffice.
Yeah.
But I think that I must commend you and Sixtus also for every morning doing a very good, discussion. And I noticed that Johnnie is not here. He also has been very instrumental in setting the agenda for the morning. It gets people talking. For example, like I said, you've changed my outfit. I was wearing a nice food from. Next week I'll wear it. You see, it's from a chief from the north.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He intends to give me a couple of those, and to celebrate the Fugu Day. So I'll then treat my brothers to wear nice Fugu because next week I'm coming from the north, right?
Traditional Fugu from the north.
And,
okay, I will be your major contender.
Really?
Next week?
Next week, yeah. I will not talk. I will just surprise.
Action.
Yes, action. School boys, action.
Today, General Mosquito is coming to my constituency. I'll have one or two questions for him.
Based on the conversations.
On the conversations you had, whether he's actually touring to thank on behalf of John Mahama, the government, or the party, or himself contending for the presidency. I don't know. I went on the 5-kilometer walk with the chief of staff last Saturday. It was very, very nice and very helpful. Unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity to ask him if he's also going to contest, but I'll ask all these questions for you. So next week I'll have answers. Whoever is contesting, whether Haruna is coming.
You announce it here next week.
Oh, I said I'll ask. I mean, you guys have been having the conversations. Sixtus was telling me he needs access. So if I have access, I should ask the questions and then notify you, and then you can publicize.
Okay. So we take it as it is.
Yeah.
Right. So let's hear from the Deputy Finance Minister on the audit, and then we return and begin the conversations, because 8.1 billion cedis in fictitious debts and public fund abuse. Here's the Deputy Finance Minister in his own words.
68.7 billion Ghana cedis submitted for audit. A total of 45.4 billion Ghana cedis was deemed to be valid for payment. A total of 8.1 billion Ghana cedis was rejected for various reasons, including unsupported documentation, duplication, overstatement, already paid items, falsified source receipt advice, and no work done. Then Ministry of Trade and Industry in 2024 submitted a request of 89.4 million Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Finance to be transferred to 5 commercial banks as government's contribution to interest payments under the One District, One Factory initiative. When auditors contacted these 5 banks to confirm the liability, every single one of them denied being owed any amount by government under the said arrangement. Without the audit intervention, a whopping 89.4 million Ghana cedis of hard-earned public money could have been disbursed to settle this non-existent liability. Payment of 10.5 million Ghana cedis was recorded as having been made into an account named the buffer account at a commercial bank. Upon verification, the bank confirmed that it had never received such payment. The account number cited did not exist within the bank's records and did not even conform to its account numbering format. The evidence from the audit pointed to a completely fictitious account. A contract between the Ministry of Defense and a company for vehicles intended for border surveillance and monitoring of the 2024 general election revealed that despite the issuance of stores receipt advice, which is an official document confirming that goods have been received, dated 12 October 2024, the vehicles were never delivered. Similarly, the Judicial Service appeared to be caught in a web of falsified stores receipt advice. While an SRA dated 25th October 2024 claimed the receipt of 7 Toyota saloon cars, as soon as the audit was initiated, the supplier wrote to the Judicial Service on 10th April 2025, indicating their inability to supply the said vehicles as scheduled. The Ministry of Finance will no longer serve as a rubber stamp for weak controls and falsified claims. Going forward, no payment will be made without full verification, no commitment will be entered into without budgetary allocation, and no officer, regardless of rank, will be shielded from accountability. This moment marks a decisive break from the past, a reset of public financial management, a declaration that discipline has returned to the center of fiscal and economic governance.
That's the Deputy Finance Minister, in his own words, yesterday.
Is that him?
Yes, that's Chairman General, as we call him. If for those of us who are on Facebook, you see.
I thought you said that was the Deputy Finance Minister.
No. That's Johnson Asidun Kete, was the chairman of the
We
NDC.
kept it on for so long.
No, so this is not on the stream right now. I think this is behind the scenes in terms of
Okay.
so that's what we have in terms of the findings. Claims amounting to some 4.4 billion submitted for payment were identified as recycled invoices which had already been paid. 4.4 billion cedis was recycled invoice. These recycled claims originated from the following ministries, departments, and agencies. Roads and Highways, there, 3.6 billion. Health Ministry, 384 million. Ministry, I'll share it with you, Ebu. You don't have to take the pictures. I'll share it across so that we'll get the details. And perhaps since you are wanting to take the pictures so earnestly, I want to start off with you as to these findings and what we're seeing, what you make of it.
Oh my God. This one, our national anthem begins with God bless our homeland Ghana. This one there, let's make it God help our homeland Ghana. This one, we need God's intervention. It's getting too much. It's getting too much. You see, when you started, you wanted us to look at the issue of employment or the issue of unemployment. And you can't talk about issue of unemployment without talking about issue of corruption, financial mismanagement, and wasteful expenditure. 3 things that have largely disturbed our financial management systems are corruption. You know, corruption has been the bane of our development. How we allow a few people to dissipate our financial resources and mostly go scot-free is worrying. Then the issue of mismanagement, financial mismanagement, where finances that are meant to be used for things that would engender development, create jobs, and all that, you see the finances being misused, being mismanaged. Typical example is Agenda 111. Typical financial mismanagement. And in there, you see issue of corruption too. And you see issue of wasteful expenditure. When you talk of wasteful expenditure, you're talking about the biggest hole and the most expensive hole in Ghana, the National Cathedral hole, $97 million of wasteful expenditure. You also look at the issue of NAPCO, which was another wasteful expenditure, and financial mismanagement. So, I mean, I had this information, yesterday I was so busy, but I had this information last night, and I was quite disturbed, given the fact that we are talking about a country that is really suffering in terms of even basic necessities that the citizenry will need to be able to stay afloat. Look at the issue of lack of beds in our hospitals. Today, if you find yourself in an emergency situation, you are taken to the hospital. If God doesn't help, that's what I said, let's begin with God help our homeland Ghana, you may not have bed. I mean, you still have a situation where kids will have to lie on their belly, stomach, to write because there are no desks in the classrooms. We still have a situation where our roads are so terrible that when people are traveling, they pray like never before because they are not sure whether they are going to get to their destination. We have a situation where a pregnant woman will go to the hospital, and because of lack of bed, the pregnant woman will have to sleep on the floor. I mean, you can name them: kids drinking, competing with cows, and drinking from the same, if you like, pond or water body. I mean, these are the issues that are confronting us as a nation. And so, if we have money to spend, and because of poor systems, because of lack of proper control, because of lack of proper monitoring and evaluation, monies that are meant for national development end up in people's pockets through corruption, then it's a serious problem. It's a very serious problem. I mean, as you rightly mentioned, if you look at the, and before that, let me even commend Atto Forsen for doing this, because you remember, he said he was not going to, he had gone through the arrests and he wasn't sure that this is the amount that is the nation would have to pay. So he commissioned. He
resorted to
he commissioned the audit
of respective transactions and all of that.
And look at what has come out. 8.1 billion Ghana cedis would have been paid. I'm telling you, if Kenofurata was the finance minister or the previous finance minister was there, this money would have been paid. If MPP had won the last election, this money would have been paid without any audit. And so it's quite worrying. And if you look at the figures, I mean, scary. I mean, look at 4.4 billion in recycled invoices. So invoices that have been considered, then you send it back into the system again for it to be paid. How many times, normally, how many times did people recycle those invoices?
And you know, when the audit for road contracts took place, this was something that came up there. That they sometimes take the contracts to, no, they take the receipts to roads and highways. They will get paid there. Take the same to finance, they get paid, and then they will be going to the roads and highways ministry as well, and all of that.
Because the system is so weak. Our financial management system is so weak.
We've invested so much to strengthen it.
You see, systems don't work by themselves. Systems are to be managed by people. So if you have corrupt people managing your system, the system will have no leg to stand on. That is what is happening. And look at another one, 1.4 billion in duplicated claims, like you rightly said, duplicated claims. 160 million in unfounded trainee arrears. 89 million Ghana cedis in fictitious debt, creating debt when there's no debt. Fictitious accounts that don't exist. That this money was paid into this account. You go and realize that account that does not exist. Even the bank doesn't have how the bank's the account are structured. It does not even correspond with the way commercial banks have structured its bank account. I mean, this is thievery, pure thievery, stealing. Maybe corruption is a refined stealing, looting, and it's quite worrying. As a nation, we are being told there's a reset going on, right? But do we always have to allow things to get to this point before we tackle them? All these agencies or ministries or departments, they have internal auditors, don't they? They have internal auditors.
They do.
They have commitment control systems. Because how can you commit the state beyond what the budget has provided? Budgetary allocation. If this year we're going to spend 10 cedis, that's what we have provided for in the budget. That's what we can do. Why do you spend more than 10 cedis? Why do you want to commit the states beyond the budgetary allocation? What kind of internal systems do we have to check some of these things? I mean, this is a clear case of a failed system. A clear case of a failed system. Financial management system, evaluation, monetary evaluation, failure. I mean, look at all these things. And it is important to mention that most of the time, the politicians and these technocrats work in tandem when it comes to some of these things. People say, oh, this time we should look at the technocrats, we should not look at the politicians. You've always been looking at politicians. Let me tell you, when you go and stand whether you go early in the morning or you go in the afternoon to stand in that sun to vote, you don't vote for a technocrat. You vote for a politician. Because you believe, you have confidence in the politician that when he comes, you'll be able to put in place policies and measures that will prevent even a technocrat from doing some of these things. So if we have voted for you and you have appointed, for example, the Auditor General, you have appointed the Accountant General, right?
Yeah. Controller
Accountant General. If you have done all these, the politicians appoint all of them. And they are supposed to also get people under them who will be very vigilant in the way they do their work. And if in the end, this is the result we are having, then certainly we have to blame the politicians first. The appointer first, before you go to the appointees. And it's quite worrying. We can't sit down for this to continue as a nation. Every year, the kind of money we lose through corruption and other form of financial malfeasance, I'm telling you, the money we lose are more than the money we go out there to borrow with interest. It doesn't make sense. I've said it, if you can do things properly in this country, from class 1 to even university can be free. Kind of, given the resources we have, the population we have. I mean, how can we allow such things to go on? It's quite worrying, my brother.
Right. I'll come to... Okay, let me do Mark first, and then I'll let Prince take the bite on this. As you've been going through it, what has stuck out for you on this audits that we've seen by the finance minister?
I am highly distressed, and I just want to send this stronger sense of emotions to our cherished listeners out there, that a developing country like Ghana, that as we speak, people are unable to access good health care. As we speak, there are students out there who are sitting under trees, and there are individuals within the country who are unable to feed themselves 3 times a day. Businesses are not really going on well, and there are many troubling challenges confronting the good people of Ghana, which includes job unemployment. The only thing we are seeing is that people who are expected to have done better are rather involved in corruption and corruption-related activities. Just as Ebo said, this is pure thievery. We cannot say this is misappropriation or mismanagement of funds, because if one is able to raise fictitious claims of invoices that perhaps have been paid already, this amounts to pure criminality. But you see, our challenge is the ability for the Public Accounts Committee's effectiveness, okay, in addressing these issues of mismanagement, as they call it. And also the government's ability, all right, to ensure that we go after such individuals who engage in this act of thievery. In fact, we have proffered a lot of solutions, yet we are still where we are. Today, I know we'll go to the next topic that has to do with these new minerals.
The minerals royalty.
Where others are saying that it's going to cost Ghana about 1 million, people to lose about 1 million of jobs. If we have a well-planned institutional system, this thing wouldn't have been a problem. You understand? And so I think that we need to find a very holistic approach in addressing some of these issues. We've had the Public Accounts Committee sitting on issues for years. At a point, we say they don't have prosecutorial powers. And so they come in there to expose the people, and what happens then? It ends there. Nothing is happens to anyone. Yet, the young man goes to a farm, gets maybe one sack of plantain, and he's arrested, sentenced to about 3 years or 4 years. Meanwhile, the real thieves are walking on our streets, and we are demanding more of taxes from our people. Meanwhile, the revenues generated, okay, could take care of Ghana. I've said that there are some institutions in Ghana. A typical example is the National Petroleum Authority. They can simply take care of Ghana. There are other institutions that rakes in huge revenues and can be able to take care of Ghana. Unfortunately, we pick our balls, run to the IMF, go to beg for peanuts, and when we come back, we are unable to use judiciously the monies that we have gone for. And these are not free monies, they are loans that attracts interest. There are young boys there, go to cycle, they have no place to sleep. A lot of them are in my village, a lot of them are in Ashaman, a lot of them are in Medina and Co. They have no jobs to do. Common capital, seed monies to invest in the businesses they are doing, to expand their businesses, they are not able to do it. But we have politicians who works collaboratively with technocrats, stealing the country every now and then. Look at the amount of money we are talking about. Duplicated and overstated claims. Yet, we have nothing to do against these individuals. Do you think this would have happened somewhere else? This can happen in, say, Kenya.
Rwanda.
What happened in Kenya? There was an increment in flour, which costed them to be paying more for bread.
Yeah.
At that same period, our government have imposed COVID levy on us. When the young people of this country were on the street demonstrating, they went ahead to pass that levy. And the irony of it is that they had a non-member of parliament being part of those who passed that law. This is criminal. But this is criminal. We cannot continue on this tangent. Where do we then go as a country? What kind of future are we bequeathing to the next generation? Are we teaching and telling them how to steal? And then when they steal, when they are involved in acts of corruption, nothing can be done against them? Is that what we are talking about? We need to be serious as a country. We are young people, and we are going to inherit a nation. And what kind of nation is our generation before us bequeathing to us? But I'm very, very emotional about this. People are dying on the street.
There are a lot of accidents on our road because we are unable to dollarize our roads. Meanwhile, look at the amount of money that has gone to this Ministry of how do you call it? Roads and Highways. 3.6 million Ghana cedis. Billion Ghana cedis. 3.6 billion. Look at Ministry of Health. 384 million Ghana cedis. And this can erect series of hospitals for us, buy equipment for us. There are people who go to hospital, pregnant women, and they die because there are no equipments there. Go to our villages, go to our rural areas, and look at the nature and how people are living. People are drinking water with cows and sheep. And these are not matters of importance to us. We get people who are opportune to go or appointed to offices. And instead of working to support the country, generate revenue for the country, they are rather milking us. And they are working on our street free of charge. I think this matter shouldn't be swept under the carpet. The government must make sure that they go after these individuals. And you see, there are people who are causing all these financial mismanagement, stealing from government coffers. But at the end of the day, the politician is sent as the criminal and the corrupt official.
You mean the civil servants?
Including the politicians. Well, some of them may not even be civil servants. There will be some, recalcitrant people out there, but the civil servants will work things out for them to generate. Because the civil servant cannot generate his own receipt because he doesn't have a company. He does it with...
So private companies...
Exactly, he does it with private people. So I think we should go after these individuals, get them punished so that this will serve as a deterrent for others not to continue.
I mean, it's not the first time we're seeing figures in this number. And for me, one of the things that struck me is the NCC as well duplicating claims. National Commission for Civic Education duplicated claims in the regions of 8.8 or overstated claims 8.8 million. Right? So when they say you've duplicated, means you've gone and you've been paid, and you are seeking to
be paid again.
Be paid again.
And for me that stood out greatly. But when you look at the list, 159 million cedis for arrears for teachers who were non-existent. And so someone is going to get 159 million and then they split and share and what have you. But I'll come to Derek. It's not the first time. And this ties largely to the many audits that we've seen. This has been referred to the audits Public Accounts Committee of Parliament. They've been given 3 weeks to go through. To go through it, and then tomorrow something else will happen. We'll be having conversations about something else, and then the people who made huge sums of money. Some of these have been stopped, and so we didn't lose the money. But these were projected sums we were going to lose had this audit not happened. Then the question is, what is happening to the individuals, Derek, and Oral?
Did you say Oral?
Yes.
Very well. Well, good morning to your listeners and viewers. I want to begin with the conclusion of the statement made on the floor. The Deputy Minister, obviously speaking for the Minister and by extension the President, was addressing the issue of Oral and the fact that the loot that my colleagues and of course the report has unearthed deals with looting or plundering of the public purse by persons who were in charge of finances of the state. It talks about a departure from the past. And I want to quote specifically what the thing says that the ministry will no longer do. It says, going forward, no payment will be made without full verification, no commitment will be entered into without budgetary allocation, and no officer, regardless of rank, will be shielded from accountability. One name pops up. Who was in charge of the finances of this country during the period under review? And this is for the year ending 2024, but it spans a period 2020 to 2024. Who was the minister? Do you know?
I think
of finance?
it was Ken Oforiatta, and then later Adam came to conclude
Very well.
in the last days.
But you see, he says that the Ministry of Finance will no longer serve as a rubber stamp for weak controls and falsified claims. And I am happy that he says that under the government of His Excellency President Mahama, that demand will be made and met. Which demand is he talking about? That the moment has come, and it marks a decisive break from the past, a reset of public financial management, a declaration that discipline has returned to the center of fiscal and economic governance. You see, we've had a situation in the past where these things have been recurring to the point where under President Atta Mills, the give-miss system was put in place. That's for the financial management system, where, all the monies that ministries, departments, and agencies required would have to be put together before any funding can happen. And they have to be indexed. If you don't have approval for something that's not in the line item, it's not a line item in the budget, you cannot spend. And this was automated so that you cannot, as it were, circumvent. And that was the idea that Seth Tekpe, then as Minister for Finance, introduced. We are resetting. That was a good thing. Some people came and when you say misapplication of funds, that's a fast stretch. Misappropriation of funds is what has happened. It was thievery. Now, what surprises me, however, is that this has happened over the years, but for the change of government and the keen interest in ensuring that oral is, affected, as in like the recovery of the loot is affected, and the fact that an audit was occasioned not by the Auditor General, but the government of His Excellency President John Mahama under the leadership in the finance sector of Ato Forcing ensured that this was commissioned. And indeed, it wasn't done by the Auditor General's department alone, but in conjunction with two private sectors. So they are not appointees of state, or they are not quote unquote mainstream government and agencies that you can say maybe there was a lean on or whatever. These have done something and have come up with a report. I had some MPs say some things in Parliament in response to this, trying to justify or, as it were, to make some demands of sort as though this should not be treated, the way it should be treated. And I hope the NDC will not pander to the MPP's requests in that direction. Ghanaians will not forgive the NDC if they attempt, if they attempt to do that. And I think that those of us in the NDC will not allow MPs to acquiesce. I have great respect for the Minister of Finance, his deputy, and the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, who have ensured that these kinds of things are going to be a thing of the past. And I really respect them because I know some personal interactions we've had over some of these things. I didn't even know that this was the magnitude or this was what was happening, but I really, on the basis of the outcome, really doff my hat to these gentlemen, fine gentlemen. I want to also indicate that the Auditor General has the mandate to surcharge and disallow payments. Why were these not done before
in the previous audits before this special audit was requested?
Yes. Now, you see, the Auditor General has known of some of these things because he has staff who have been doing audits routinely of all ministries, departments, and agencies. In fact, there is an outstanding money that the Martin Kwebu has always been announced in the commercial bank, 52 billion.
That was transferred to an unknown account.
It's the same thing that's happening here. We hear of a certain buffer account. A certain buffer account is mentioned in this report as well. And then checks from the bank showed that no such payments had been received. Where is Ken Ofuriatta? And then when people talk of Ken Ofuriatta, some idiot in Parliament comes to say that he and his family are angry or upset or crying or whatever. What the hell? Look, you see, it's about time that Ghanaians get very angry.
I think the language can be minded a bit.
Which one?
What the hell?
I mean, what the hell?
I mean, describing a member of Parliament.
He mentioned no name.
No, it's Duke Ofuriatta. I've mentioned his name. Okay. Duke Ofuriatta. junior brother to Ken Ofriatta, had the nerve to, through the minority leader, come and claim that the NDC should stop mentioning his brother's name. Who sent him? Did anybody in the NDC ask him to become finance minister? Did anybody ask him to allow for this rot to happen? Look at the amounts we are talking about. Not chicken change. The big push is going full steam ahead, and it would have been a bigger push if these monies were available, which means that the expressway to Kumasi, expressways, the Tama motorway is becoming an expressway in the middle, the median. We're going to have various expressways that takes you full speed ahead. You lose no time, so there's greater efficiency, and then you don't lose fuel. Wear and tear also doesn't happen. These are savings that Ghanaians can have, and then some people have pocketed these. I have seen that the judicial sector, that's the judicial service, also is mentioned in this. What is this? The people who are supposed to be, oh God, Ghana, forgive us. The judicial system is in this one too. Where have we gone wrong? What did we do wrong as a people that we deserve this kind of thing? I've seen various sectors, and those that stick out, they've mentioned a few: the transport, the roads, the health sector. Ajimamenu is still around, right?
Yes, he's actually been speaking and saying your government has done nothing. He was invited for a few conversations by BNI or NIB, and since then he's a free man. He's been walking around, which is why when I mentioned the findings, I asked a question about oral as well.
Yeah. Well, what I've seen happening, at least in La, which we made a lot of noise about, is that the La General Hospital is being built. I wish this money was available so it could have been completed in record time. But Ajimamenu, they said he who the gods want to ...
destroy,
kill, they first go mad, right? So, silence is golden sometimes, right? Even for criminals. So if a criminal comes out to remind you of his existence when many have forgotten,
you can't call him a criminal because you haven't taken.
I haven't mentioned any name,
and you've proven that he.
No, I haven't mentioned Ajimamenu's name, but Ajimamenu has spoken, right?
Yes.
Okay. There's so many criminals who are speaking today. Even one spoke on behalf of another that a certain criminal whose picture was shown in Parliament is making him a criminal and his criminal family who benefited from these. In fact, look, oral is about catching the criminals. It's about retrieving the loot from the criminals. Looters are criminals, right? So is it the word criminal that you are, finding offensive?
No, if to declare someone a criminal, you have to go through a process.
But to declare someone a looter, you don't have to go through a process.
No, you do say you have to just substantiate.
So this Auditor General's report is a process that has begun, and it's unearthed some key ministries headed by some people. So why shouldn't they face the music? I think that it will be an indictment on the current government if by this week sometime we don't see Ajimamenu and several others who headed these institutions being seen by Ghanaians to be hauled, not necessarily before a court. No, that's a long process. These are part of the processes leading to that. But Ghanaians want to see Ajimamenu, being arrested or perhaps being re-arrested on the basis of this new one. All of the people who have been listed, they should be, Asen Subachi, he said they shouldn't do a road to Kumasi. He's an MP where? In Ashanti region. And he doesn't want to see the expressway. Meanwhile, look at the amount of money that the ministry that he supervised is alleged to have. He works in housing, and then he was moved to where?
Roads and Highways.
Roads and Highways. And what did Roads and Highways record? Under his watch.
3.something billion.
Billion. He is the one who had the biggest accounting to do, right? So if people are being arrested and being brought to account for their loot, what is so wrong about it?
There's the criticism that this audit, for instance, is a distraction. There are pressing national issues, and because you don't want the heat to be turned on you, for instance, people are asking for jobs. Your party supporters are on social media angry amongst many other things, that you were sponsoring events which you are not supposed to be sponsoring. You have not given them jobs and all of that. You suddenly release a report like this to sway conversations and have people talking.
Okay, very good. Now, so when was this commissioned? Are you suggesting, and I'm not attributing what you're saying to any party supporter. You have spoken, I've heard you. Now, are you suggesting that this report was commissioned today, or post the comments that you're alleging that some people are making about jobs? And note also that in public sector, in the public sector, when jobs are given, there must be a guarantee of payment, regular payment. So you cannot employ anyone without financial clearance. And for financial clearance to be given, monies must be made available. In the case of the MPP, they threw the books, back at us. They did not do things according to the book. So, for example, you look at the NAPCO thing. There was no money dedicated for that. So what happened? They recruited some people just for the elections. Shortly thereafter, they dumped them. And these are people they used for a previous election, used their pictures and said, what? Remember me, right? They dumped them. I don't think that reset is about repeating what you know to be wrong. Okay, so if these monies are claimed, and that's why I support Oral fully, and I will be against the NDC. I'll be the first to vote against the NDC if Oral does not succeed. I'll vote against NDC. I wasn't born to come and support causes that don't make sense. This cause makes sense. The overwhelming number of Ghanaians gave the mandate to the president. I want to see continuity because the time is short for any meaningful change to happen. I want to see continuity, and therefore the NDC must be in power. But ideally, John Mahama and his entire team should have been in power, at least for a minimum of 2 terms, to prosecute this Oral thing. Because look, 1.5 years have gone, or has gone already, without you seeing much. But then 1.5 years, you and I, if you were my vice president, and were deciding to throw the books away, would have arrested Akufo-Addo by now. Bawumia would be in jail. This guy would have not escaped the airport. What's his name? Ken. But that would be trying to do kangaroo court system. This president wants to do the right thing. It takes time. And I don't believe in that thing of justice, the wheels of justice grind slowly. This new Chief Justice, thank God, Tokeno is gone. Thank God that Afenyomakin's, Tokeno is gone. We now have a new Chief Justice who is setting up specialized courts and has indicated that these specialized courts will deal with some specific things, which includes corruption. Now, the tribunals are going to come on stream as well. Thank God again. And I want to go to the Speaker. The Speaker of Parliament has said that he will not shield any MP, whether NDC or MPP, who is involved in corruption or galamsey. I want us to hold these persons to their word. It's not just a John Mahama thing. The system called governance or government has 3 arms. And the most critical part, that's the 4th arm, is you. I will hold you also as journalists and media persons if you do not put the heat under the president and his government, the speaker and his MPs. That's to ensure that there's sanity in parliament. These people promised us chaos, Afenyo. And when what's his name, Bawumia was elected, they said they will give us more chaos. But that is why they elected Bawumia. But that's why they went out of, their way to circumvent their own laid down formal process of electing leaders from the base up to put Bawumia there so that he can claim persecution when prosecution starts. We must, with one voice, say that how many years is it before Akufo-Addo can escape prosecution?
3 years.
No, it's not left. He has 3 years, out of which 1.5 is almost gone. So we are working against the clock. Meanwhile, the special prosecutor was running the clock using, Ken to run away. Ken was the principal player in getting Akufo-Addo and the rest of them jailed. I'll tell you why. He is the one who handles the personal finances of Akufo-Addo. You know that. You were in the Flagstaff House, the Jubilee House, when Ken was appointed, or at least you saw it on television. You're a media person. Amongst his credentials, apart from the investment bank, blah, 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 he said that Ken manages his personal finances. That's Akufo-Addo's personal finances. Ken and Kelly Gajekpo own an offshore, Cayman Island, tax avoidance company. Tax avoidance is not illegal. Tax evasion is. Why would you appoint someone who helps people to circumvent the processes of paying taxes as finance minister to kind of oversee whose taxes? And look at what he's done to the taxes of Ghanaians. Then he runs away. They say come back, he say he won't come. He prefers to be in jail, detention outside than come to this country.
And Duke says what?
And then Duke comes to talk nonsense in Parliament. Look, you see, it's about time Ghanaians hold some people and shake them up. Look, we should be angry. People are dying. This is the pension, bondholders. Many have died. Many people are dying because of the recklessness and the stupidity and the thievery of some people. And then people can talk nonsense. Look, I want to find some small money and start putting up billboards. Can Oforiatta come back home with his picture there? And then any of these others should be there. And if an NDC person also finds him, he should be put there. Look, can we start this project? Can we? Look, there's too much talk. Yeah. We say oral is not working. Maybe it is, but it's working a little slow. Let us put some speed behind it. All right? Mawuena, you have a fine voice. Use it to call every day, call NDC or NPP out if they are going slow on this oral thing. Otherwise, you are helping the process.
I mean, as for oral, there cannot be a debate as to whether or not it is working. It has to work. It must work.
But what would you do? What is your role in making it work?
I mean, we will
that
call you
microphone,
out if you are not.
Yeah, but beyond the microphone,
beyond
the microphone, let us start the billboards. It's not everybody who will listen to every station. There's so many stations. You say the nice thing today, maybe someone is not tuned in, is tuned to another station. But the billboards will line the streets.
You want to sponsor billboards across the capital?
Not the capital. In their hometowns too. In their hometowns too.
Are you sponsoring a billboard?
No, in their hometowns too.
We'll contribute. We'll do small and do that.
Yes, let the first one come up. Yeah. And then let other people who, you see, let's put our money where our mouth is. It's not enough to sit in our homes and say, oral is going slow. Me, for example, and I know where Ken and others have stolen lands in Cantonment Civil Aviation, I'm waiting for a while. Very soon, we'll organize and go and occupy those buildings.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So Ken should come and tell us it is his building. We should get out. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? It's about time that citizens' actions begin to show that citizens really abhor the nonsense that is going on. The overwhelming mandate that the president has been given does not take away from the fact that he has to go according to the laws of Ghana and the rules that we've set for ourselves. But it's, again, not also the rules for citizens to take action. The Constitution guarantees us that right to act. So it will not be unconstitutional. We would notify and we must give deadlines. This one, for example, I think that by the close of this week, and we should not give big deadlines, Parliament should be operating within a certain confine where citizens are watching, citizens are acting. Citizen action is necessary. Yeah. And so please, by the end of this week, if we don't see him next Monday, I beg you, I'll bring my money for the billboard. I'll go and look for money. You look for some. Let's put it together, and then let's commission someone to start putting the billboards.
Right, about 3-week deadline. You want, okay, so.
Yeah, so the point is, you see, flowing from what Prince just said, you see, the difference between advanced countries and the struggling ones like Ghana is that if you go to those countries, the most expensive commodity is corruption.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So even the rich is not able to buy because it's very expensive.
92.7.
Because once you engage in corruption, you are gone. So, like, mention Singapore, mention Malaysia, mention
China,
South Korea, mention those countries that we started with. The reason why they've gone ahead of us is because of the way they fight corruption. Yeah. Very expensive. But Ghana, the cheapest commodity you can have, every politician can have to buy.
Lucrative.
Yes, it's corruption. Until you make corruption very expensive, you engage in it, the next thing is that you are in prison. Within 6 months, 3 months, you are in prison. 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And not only you, every asset you've acquired, confiscated to the state. Ethiopia has started it. They've passed a law that goes back 10 years. Retroactive law. It goes back 10 years. So in the last 10 years, if you are a public servant or political appointee and you acquire any property, they look at your income level and juxtapose that with the value of the property. If there's any mismatch, the state confiscates it. You go to jail in addition. That is how serious they are. Because take it or leave it. We are where we are because of corruption. We are where we are. We are still struggling because of corruption. One person steals to build 5 mansions. He sleeps in only one room. Meanwhile, we don't have beds in our hospitals. Our roads are very bad. And we sit aloof. It's so cheap. That is why there are so many of them. After university, they never did any work. They just went into politics. They are millionaires. Yeah. Nobody questions them. Nobody finds out how they got the money, the source of their income. We are comfortable with it. It's a system that must be broken. You scratch my back, I scratch your back system has to be broken. Until we get to the point where we begin to love this country more than politicians or political parties. I'm telling you, this thing is going to continue. How can we love political parties more than our country? The politicians will steal, blatantly steal. Then you go and do demonstration in support of the politician. Are we crazy? Can we hate Ghana like that as a people? No, let's check. 2023, 2024, if we have any special forensic audits to be doing in this country, let's target 2023, 2024.
This is 20. This is 2024.
Yes. 2023 was MPP's internal elections. 2024 was general election. Check this. If you look at the national service issue, the scandal, 2023 was the year that the money shot up. The highest form of stealing took place in 2023 at the national service issue or secretariat. Check. Cocoa Board. 2023, 2024. They said, look, what did they do? They went to see, they even lied to the white man, the financiers. We are going to supply over 700,000 tons of cocoa. Tons, Now, they knew they didn't have 700,000 tons because the deviation was too much, about 45%. And you ended up supplying only 40,000. It means they knew they couldn't have supplied, they couldn't supply the 700,000 tons. Yeah. But they needed the money. For what? For elections. So they lied, got the money. Why is it that after supplying the 400,000, the remainder of the remaining amount of money did not stay in the account? The amount left. Grew wings and left the account. For what? And they are there working freely. Somebody wanted antelope or grass cutter, went into a forest reserve in Western region. The person has been arrested and is been given 3 years jail imprisonment. 3 years the person is in prison for taking gun to a forest reserve. These politicians, some of them, not all of them, the criminals, they took excavators, went into a forest reserve, destroyed the forest itself, the trees, they destroyed the soil, they destroy the water bodies, they poison the soil. They are walking about freely because they are politicians, because they are being supported and being assisted by politicians. Now, how can we have such a state and talk about the issue of equality before the law? Which law? Equality before which law? That a poor man who go as a hunter will be given 3 years for destroying the water body. According to Erastus Asaridonko, says one of the forests that was destroyed within a matter of one month or so was as big as Kumasi. And he mentioned the number of excavators that were working in that forest. He says he personally went there with the late Sir John, and he saw the devastation, the way these people were destroying the forest. They are working freely.
Sir John himself and Charles.
Yes.
Destroying the forest.
Yes. So what are we doing as a nation? What kind of nation is this? That we have adopted a system that's supposed to be a system that will give people the opportunity to do well in life. Democracy is supposed to be a government for the people, not government for political parties or political class. And when they speak, some of them, let me tell you, some of them were genius in school. We were far better than them. Some of them were classmates. We were far better than them. We sat in the same class with them. But the fact that you chose to do politics should not put you on any pedestal higher than your colleagues who are on the streets struggling. The system must be fair to all of us. The system must not give politicians special dispensation, whereas others will be given another dispensation in which you have to struggle. People complete school 6 years, 7 years. They are still eating from their parents' kitchen. And the politicians are, some of them, within short time. Annoying thing is that when they have acquired all this money, the monies they have acquired illegally, they'll be flaunting it in our faces. And we sit aloof as a nation Nobody questions you. Where did you get the money? How did you get it? They show off in their expensive cars, in the expensive buildings, and nobody questions them. How can we have such a state and develop as a people? We can never. Now let me say this. I want to clear my boss. Because you see, one name that has become synonymous to one district, one factory is the name Alan Chamantin. So when the issue came up, people say, hey, Alan ministry, say, let me tell you, Alan resigned in 2023, January 2023, as a minister. This issue is 2024. Who was minister then? Katie Hammond. So please, I want to set that record straight. Yeah, sticker. And so I want to set that record straight. That the one that I support and I follow, a very decent man. He's worked globally for United Nations, for AU, for so many companies around the world. He's always come out clean because he doesn't believe in thievery.
But he was sidelined even in the trade fair.
Yeah, of course.
The trade fair. Ken Ofurata took over all his things. I personally met him in his office and he said, Ken has taken over. He's appointed Gabby's, listen, Edu. No, you see,
you have the insider.
I beg you, just one small one. Bank transfers without supporting documents. You know, banks don't deal with word of mouth documentation. Okay. Yet, the biggest ministry that did that was the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. Such a ministry. And who was the minister who was appointed by Akufo-Addo for that ministry and went AWOL for a long time? You remember the name?
Yeah.
Who?
Sarah Joseph.
Sarah Joseph. She was herself confirming that she was put under a lot of pressure to do fraudulent things and she did not acquiesce. You remember?
Yes.
That video is there. So the Acha and Co, please, I beg, go for that. Invite Sarah. She should tell us the chief of staff, Frema, and the other people who she claimed were giving her pressure. People in Akufo-Addo's office who were giving her pressure to do the fraud. They are number one on this list. Even before she was replaced, she has said these things. And the evidence has come out. Number one, on bank transfers without supporting documents. Let's not waste time. People should be arrested before the weekend.
Right. Let me say something. Something. No, I'm coming. Just 30 seconds. You see, you remember, Adwa Safo gave us free information about school feeding.
School feeding.
He said the corruption there was mind-boggling. And Central Region was the headquarters of that school feeding corruption. What have you done about it?
And the evidence has come.
What have you done about it? And
NAPCO.
Then we'll talk about.
I hear President Mahama says he's going to serve with integrity. Let's put the humility aside. Serving with integrity cannot come or see the light of day when these criminals who have well planned, thought, organized this criminality in the last regime to go scot-free, it can never set to happen. See, in this country, I realize that we talk a lot, but our actions are few. And to every young person listening to me, your life is impoverished because some politicians have taken advantage of you. If we are serious as a country and that we want to stop or reduce corruption to the barest minimum, the young people of this country must rise. Because these individuals who call themselves politicians are stealing from state coffers, enriching themselves, taking good care of their children will grow. And come and tell your children that, so let's be angry enough to call our leaders to account that whatever penny that has been given to them should be accounted for. This issue we are currently discussing, I said we have a lot of holistic approaches. What are the clear implementation plans? We have no clear implementation plan. We need to begin enhancing political will that will improve enforcement mechanism. That is the only problem we have. We have a lot of laws when it comes to people who embezzle funds, people who steal, people who do this, who do that. But what are the enforcement mechanisms? We are unable to do it. Is it because some are politicians and some are just common floor members? Is that the country we want to live in? Democracy is not meant to be like this. It's about developing the people, developing the nation. Are we seeing development in the nation? Are we seeing any development in our human capital? They all know. They all know. And I've said this. Look, I started saying this years ago. That look, in the past, the generation before us were not able to call leadership to account. We have the voice, and we are calling leadership to account. The young generation after us will not come and sit on radio. They will come. They will chase us with cutlasses and guns. Let us be very, very careful, because you see the way they do their things now. We are very slow to anger. They are not that slow. If you really see what is happening on our streets, look at what is happening in our schools. If you're not careful, and these boys do not get the real understanding of peace, and they come out to us that they are demanding accountability, by then they'll forget them go. We'll be dead and gone. Their children will be insulting us. Look at what happened at Cocoa Board. The former Cocoa Board boss. Is it Mawuena or what? You see, after the auditing, he had returned the car. His son was on television defending his father. Young man defending his father.
He won the primary to become MP because of the money he shared. Because of the money he shared.
Now he's defending the father. Who will defend his father? Because his father has done a lot of things, acquired money, and he's benefiting from it.
So what should the Speaker of Parliament do? What do you think the Speaker of Parliament should do? What should Parliament do to such persons?
Well,
the signals must be clear. It should not be talk.
Legitimate question, but I mean, in the end, it comes back to the laws that are prevailing. The fact that there is allegation that he has. No, I'm being honest. What will the Speaker do?
Then let's forget our aura.
Then let's forget about aura.
No, I'm not saying we are forgetting
about aura.
I'm not. That's not the point I'm making.
Frank Bekwen, Protozoa. The Frimpong Boateng report. What does it say? He's still in Parliament. The Frimpong Boateng report. How many people in Parliament today are listed in and are still there? Come on, Charlie. We should forget about this country. If your approach is what you want us to follow.
No, there are models of there are models of brandy.
What is favoring them?
Yeah. The models of brandy is that they always find a way to end up in Parliament.
Yes,
because
that is their
unity.
Yes, that's their modus operandi.
Yes.
After they have plundered, they find themselves in Parliament.
And the Speaker has said something wonderful. He's not going to shield them. The President has said something wonderful. He's implementing his reset. What they can do is to give us the enabling environment. And you, the Fourth Estate, the Egbeta approach. Let us hear you. Let's hear the Egbeta
approach. Yes. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the approach I want to use on these matters.
And Sixtus were on
can be openly discussed.
But why not?
It's a strategy.
I know the opinions I hold.
Sixtus should come into the studio and tell us the Sixtus approach. The media, you are the Fourth Estate.
But I think I need to have some clarity here. There is always how do you call it? When they're changing the government.
Transition. Handing over notes.
What actually goes on there? What notes do they hand over? How do they take their time to scrutinize the handing over notes?
Yeah. No, there's an office. Okay.
Yeah, that's what he was going to say. There's an entire process. There's an office which takes care of it. And to be very honest, all of the details will not be captured in a handing over note. I'm not sure if you've stolen funds, you put it in the handing over note and say,
every state organization or government agency is expected to submit his audited account in a particular period of time. And so by the time elections is done and it's over, whichever political party wins power must have had those documents already with the auditor general. Isn't it the case? So why must we go sit there going back and forth, and at the end of the day we say this is what they presented, but that wasn't the facts. Yeah. They should submit it per law. Do they do that? They're unable to do it.
The Egbeta approach would be, let's wait and see.
No, the Egbeta approach would be that before every general election, politicians, political appointees, and those technocrats, the top technocrats, they should submit their passports. Yes. The state should take over their passports.
Confiscate the passports.
Yes, so you submit your passport prior to the election, the period before the election. So that after the election, if you want to run away,
their right of movement.
No, right of movement. For what? Of course. Yes. When it becomes necessary,
a violation of a
when it becomes necessary in the interest of the nation, our rights are not violated.
Well, in the interest of the nation,
yes.
right?
So I'm saying that so that they don't get opportunity to run away like Ken Ofrata did. If he had taken his passport before the election, I don't think he would have had opportunity to run away.
We have to talk about the royalties, but Mark, you have had your time chipped away a lot by the guys.
The institution that we all foresee giving birth to power, okay, for people to become president, attorney general, and co is the Electoral Commission. I think it's a responsibility of the Electoral Commission to ensure that political parties submit their audited accounts. Look, I have a report, and the report says that through an RTI request from the Electoral Commission, in the period of, I think, 2020 or 2021 to 2025, even the NDC that appoints the Auditor General, the Minister for Finance, the Accountant General, submitted just 2 out of the 4 years. The MPP, same. So how do you expect people to be voted into office and do what is right? So the commission itself has a big problem. And for us to reset our system, the Electoral Commission must be reset.
3FM. My petition is getting ready.
You are working on a petition.
I had a petition sent on together with Elikem Kotoko in 2017, 21st January 2017, and the president's office received it, but they never worked on it.
Right.
And Duke of Furiata, the same Duke of Furiata, who received the Sofakufu petition, that was never worked on. The same Duke of Furiata who received the Frimpong Barton report that was kept for 2 years. The same Frimpong Barton report that indicts his relatives. The same Duke of Furiata who is today talking and asking us to shut up about his family. Duke, for you.
22 minutes to the top of the hour. You want to say one final word? We have to switch lanes and talk mineral royalties.
Yes. As I said in my opening statement, I think we should think of replacing God bless our homeland Ghana with God help our homeland Ghana, because what is happening is too much. The corruption is too much. The looting and plundering, too much for us to bear. So God help our nation, our homeland Ghana.
Right. Mineral royalties. The sliding scale, the LI has matured. The sliding scale has come into effect. Per what I have seen, the multinational mining companies will be paying 12% on royalties.
It's between 5
it's
to 12.
between
5 to 12. But if you look at the grade, per how much gold is selling
on the international
market, it determines how much you're paying. And I just want to read that in terms of additional detail, which we have as a result of having followed the conversation. And so if you look at the legislation, this is what the sliding scale is going to look at. So it's between 5 to 12%.
Yeah.
When gold is selling up to $1,900 per ounce on the international market, 5% royalty is applicable. Between 1,900 and 2,000, 6%. Between 2,000 and 2,500, 7%. Above 2,500 to 3,000, 8%. Above 3,000 to 3,500, 9%. Above 3,500 to 4,000, 10%. Above 4,000 to 4,500, 11%. Above 4,500, 12%. Currently, gold is trading or is selling at $5,140 per ounce, and so that's 12% royalty.
That's good news for us.
But there's a concern it will lead to job losses, and we saw the report which said that the multinationals, embassies, and all of that were putting pressure on our government to not have this law come into effect because it's going to make mining operations in Ghana the most expensive the world over. 5 minutes. Let me
see, as a nationalist, I support it 100%. In fact, I've even said the sustainability levy, which was increased from 1% to 3%, should be 5%. I mean, how can we be the sixth largest producer of gold in the world and still be poor? It's because of the way we've handled our our mineral resources. I mean, royalty, they'll come and dig it, take the profit away and give you peanuts. They end up destroying your environment as well. And so why is it that this time around we want to do the right thing, we want to make sure we get the necessary benefit from the mineral resources? Some people somewhere will say this is too much for the multinationals. Do you know the amount of profit they make? Do you know the money they repatriate, the money they send to their countries? And see, let me tell you something quite interesting. Look at the multinationals here. They are from China, South Africa, America, Canada, Australia,
and UK.
And look at the top 5 before Ghana. China is the largest producer of gold in the world. They followed by, I think, America or so, then Canada,
and
then Australia, there's another country before you come to Ghana. Okay, we are the 6th together with other countries. 6th, we occupy the 6th position. You see, the kind of environmental destruction we are seeing here, you don't find them in those countries. The way our water bodies are being destroyed here, you won't find them in those countries.
That is because of Galamsey.
The way our mining communities are very poor, with poor infrastructure, you never find them in those countries.
Yeah.
So we need money, cash, kudi, to be able to, one, resource our mining areas in terms of developmental projects. Yeah. I've never been to South Africa, but I'm told if you go to Joburg and other mining areas, you see that this is a mining area. Yeah. Because what infrastructure you see there reflect the kind of activities being done there. But here is the opposite. You go to our mining areas, roads are very poor. They find it difficult to get potable water to drink. I mean, health system very poor. How can you tisikaso?
Literally, that's a literal term of your tisikaso.
So I support it fully because we need revenue to develop. We need revenue to support these mining communities.
Concern about the mining companies possibly laying.
That one it's a stress. They can pay it and still survive. They can pay the 12% up. Look at the profitability level because of the increase in gold prices. Their profitability level has gone up. They will be able to pay, except that they want to use it as an excuse also to threaten that if you do that, you're going to lay. They will never lay anybody. We should sit down with them. They shouldn't lay people off. In fact, this one will help us to even create more jobs in those mining communities. Once you're able to get money, then we can engage in job creation activities, productive activities in the mining sector. In mining areas, because whether you like it or not, you see, if the mining sector does not even employ a lot of people like the other sectors, like the agric and manufacturing. Yeah. So if you can get money from there and invest in agriculture and industry or manufacturing, then you can create more jobs. Can you imagine if you have textile industries? One textile industry can employ about 3,000 people,
right?
About 4,000 people.
Prince.
Can they clarify the job losses?
No, what means?
No, I should clarify. There's supposed to be a threat.
Yeah.
So what's the nature of the threat?
That's the operations will become too expensive.
And so
for them here.
And so
they haven't said they are going to. That this is the position of the minority that this could lead to job losses because it will put pressure
on behalf of the mining companies.
It will put pressure on.
No, I want you to clarify. So
yes.
I'm saying
it was a minority's position.
So it is not the mining companies that have said.
No, I made that clear that it's a minority. You are reiterating.
For emphasis, it's important because a lot of people may be thinking, oh, the mining companies are threatening to leave and there will be job losses. It is not the case. Afenyo Markin and his people who have been speaking for cocoa farmers not too long ago, having crashed with their cocoa experiment, have run to the aid of mining companies for perhaps money. They have run also recently again in favor of some other classes of people, including CLOSAG and others. You see, these guys had a 2 million plus deficit. So they are looking at places where they can get the numbers or get the money. All right? And so when they say something, look at it carefully. What are they saying? The mining companies, their operations are going to be high, so they employ less people. Is that the argument?
Yeah, so Patrick Boama is the one who was he addressed in his
he's a good friend, but I'm just saying that he was speaking for the minority. led by the outgoing minority leader, Afeni Markets. He's leaving.
I don't want
Not
us.
willingly.
I don't want us to venture into it because if we start, we'll not finish.
Coming to replace
So,
and I hear there's a new name. Kojo has turned down, so somebody has accepted. Now, you see, the point is this: if the mining companies decide that for efficiency purposes they want to scale down the numbers, they will do it anyway. It's not because of this sliding scale. Every company tries to maximize
profit.
Private companies, they have no obligations unless it is tied to whatever agreements that
they have with the Republic.
Very good. Now, even ahead of this, what has the government done? We are not looking at exporting raw gold. It's just like oil and any other cocoa, etc. All will be processed locally, and the downstream market, that when I say market, I'm even maybe stretching it, the employment that it would generate as you go into those other areas of refining and all that, goodness, is much more than just the raw business of mining or farming cocoa or whatever. The number of people who are farmers, cocoa farmers, versus the number of people who will process cocoa at every stage, and the kinds of diversified portfolios that these people would hold in that downstream operation is huge. And so that is the way to go. So government has already thought and planned for such a thing.
Right.
But I don't think that what they are saying is even true. In that, let's just assume that the big mining companies decide to fold up. Would they take the mines away? Would they take the gold away?
No.
The gold will remain. All right? Now, you realize that some have agreements that have expired. Government was taking it over. What was government going to do? Close it down? No. Government was going to now turn it over to Ghanaians to run, and so more Ghanaians would have been employed. If today, all the mining companies decide to go, I mean, I'm not saying that they should, because there are investments that are required to, as it were, do these things, including even the oil industry and any other sector. And that's why we need others to come in. But the expertise are available. In fact, you can outsource. In fact, it's even in our interest to own these things and employ those people with expertise that we don't have whilst we train our people. And that's why sometimes we have the local content thing also kicking in. And some agreements also include having to train some number of persons to
locally to also be able to.
So there's no fear.
Right.
The fear and panic that these people want to introduce does not exist. Going forward, now you look at a medium to small scale mining, which is legal. They would profit if these big companies fold up, because then they would transit from medium into large, as in taking over, and then small into medium. So it is even a plus if you have to even go by the argument. What is a worry to me is that some of these companies already practice illegal things, even though they are large scale. They practice large scale, and we find them. And there are times that we find them. I remember when Amani Boama was the minister, he find some of the companies, the big companies, that's environmental, the same with Mutala. God bless their souls. Now, I think that we must ensure that the small scale people are not only the ones only targeted when it comes to illegality. We must make sure that going forward, our emphasis in the gold or extractive industry sector goes towards the protection of the environment, creating even jobs in that process of, right now they are reclaiming the lands. It's a lot of job. The water, the green, the blue water guards and so on. That's employment. So let's look at creating more employment rather than, as it were, going to Parliament and scream unemployment when you have stolen the money that would be used in paying people. These people, I said by Friday, Egbeta, the sun should work. Change your style. As a fourth estate, change your style. Be on them. Let them people be arrested. And then Wednesday, right? We'll come with some money and then we'll do the billboard. I'll come with the design. I'll come with the billboard design.
I think my big brothers have done justice to this conversation. Yeah. And what I want to say is that no rightful thinking Ghanaian will decide that let's go against the sliding scale regulatory regime that has been introduced. In the past, we were taking just 5%. When our compatriots like Mali, 10%. Ivory Coast is taking 8%. Tanzania is taking 6%. As in Mozambique or Zimbabwe, so taking about 8%. And we were taking 5%. This 5 to 12%, just as Ebo explained, is dependent on the world market price. When
the world market price goes up, Ghanaians will benefit. Yeah. When it goes down, those companies who do the mining here will benefit. So what is the cause for alarm here? But you see, this position of the minority is a clear indication that they are bereft of ideas. They lack creativity, they lack inspiration, and the original thought for which gold is supposed to help us is not doing. Out of the 100% of the revenue that comes, 78 goes to the consolidated fund. 2% goes to MEF, the Minerals Income Investment Fund. And then about 20% goes to Minerals Development Fund. That 2%, that 20%, that goes to the Minerals Development Fund is expected to carry up developmental projects in those mining areas.
Right.
Do we see those developments there? Are we seeing that value of gold value chain there in the mining areas? Thank God that Gold Board has been instituted. And for me, if we had not instituted Gold Board and had gone for this particular arrangement, I would say that we've gone on a wrong tangent. Because if these giants who control about 80% of our total gold reserves, gold trading area, are still in the system when we do not have Gold Board in place, then they can decide to withdraw. But now we have Gold Board, and Gold Board is adding value to the gold value chain, i.e., selling precious minerals like chains, like earrings.
Via the Gold Board.
Exactly. And that is what is expected to do. And here in South Africa, when you go there, there is a whole area that they sell ornaments made from gold. Why can't Ghana do same? So for me, I think let's praise Gold Board for their implementation of whatever they are doing, and whatever decision that this sliding scale is going to bring about will inure to the benefit of the Ghanaian people. Look, the Australia and the Canada, and let me tell you one secret. They will not move anywhere. The only thing that will affect them is that perhaps they cannot do further expansion. All right? And when we talk about losing of 1 million jobs, let's check the data. How many people are employed there? How many people are employed there? And we are anticipating 1 million jobs. If it's about 1 million jobs, then let's count the people there. So just as Uncle Ebo said, let's take these monies and invest them in different areas. I agree sometimes with the CSOs who are calling for between 4% to 8%. It is in the minimum. Look, if you go to social media, go and check. People are calling for 50%. Yes, the young people are calling for 50%. But no, ideally, it cannot happen this way. We are in a global world where
why do you think
liquidity.
Why do you think
50%? Yeah. You see, the people coming with their own machinery.
They've been here for a long time.
So
50%. So fixed cost has been covered already.
Yes.
So they're only dealing with variable costs.
You are right.
Yeah.
But I think
I'm not advocating for 50-50.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that something in the region higher than
even the 12%, you know.
Yes, it's fair. And
Sure.
on the back of the Governor Pandit's statement in Parliament that the Bank of Ghana is going to diversify its gold, the domestic gold program. I mean, we should. The minority, they are out there to just derail any good policy that government brings. So anytime you hear them, please ask yourself. First note that they are lying. That's the first point you should operate from.
I'm not sure the assertion will be their line.
No,
because they are supposed to keep the government.
No. They have said
so.
No, Afenyo Markin, when he was standing behind the pulpit at the Thanksgiving service in the church of Alhaji Baumia's Thanksgiving at the church, not the mosque, the church. He mounted a podium and said that categorically, when they didn't have a leader, when they hadn't elected Bawumia, they were just causing confusion to occupy the space. Now that he has come, they expect leadership. So anything that is being done today, you can attribute to Bawumia. Yeah. And his attempt to save himself from his exit as minority leader. They are just lying. The cocoa farmers thing, was it true?
It was lying.
Wasn't there a lie? Hasn't it come out clearly
we will interrogate
Ivory Coast was paying half what we are paying, and yet we're making it as though we're paying cocoa farmers a miserable amount. Meanwhile, they supervise the rot. The last time Fifi Buff was in this
room,
they couldn't even answer one question.
They
were buying land. The 12 acres. Up to now, the $12 billion, have they accounted for it? I want to see it in the audit.
We have to wrap up.
So for me, my conclusion, I would say that let's commend government for
these bold, steps they've demonstrated in taking advantage of the road trading area. You know what the Ghana, the BOG is doing now? They are looking at diversification of gold reserves. Now, who is even going out for liquidity? Dollar? No.
No.
The system is changing. The global trend is changing. And so let's commend this government for introducing gold board that is taking advantage of the gold trading area to make sure that we have enough reserves, to go for liquidity when the need be. I think we are doing better.
Ghana is on the right track, but the reset must work. And the fast track Egbeta approach I support. So Wednesday, the billboard project will start.
After we are done, you hear the approach that I have.
All the billboards will have sponsored by the Egbeta.
you hear the approach. But I appreciate.
If you say we are going to fight corruption, let's walk the talk.
Absolutely.
And those who talk on radio must walk the talk too.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mark, Prince, and then Ebu as well.
Sunrise.
Sunrise on 3FM.
Marriott Bandwidth was in Zim, and we're going to do one quick birthday before we run out of the studio. A happy birthday to Francis Akon Dex. May the new year of your life be filled with divine protection, wisdom, success, good health, and happiness beyond measure. With love and prayers by Mr. and Mrs. Dex. Happy birthday, Francis Akon Dex. Happy birthday to you as well. I was mentioning happy birthday to Jonas Ahiaku and the rest of the guys. For everybody who's celebrating their day today, happy birthday to Mr. Kpodo, Daniel Achukpodo, head CCU switching MG from all of us here as well. A glorious happy birthday to you. That's our show for you today. We're back again, God willing, tomorrow with another exciting edition. Cristobal Treve is here with the news update. No, nobody can say Trevor. It is Treve. That is the meaning of the name. Treve.
You have emphasizing on the tre like that.
The name is a Treve.
Yes. But you're doing it too much.
So it's 2 calabash.
Yes, 2 calabash.
Yes.
But you're overdoing
it. No, you have
tre.
to mention the name in the so how do you want me to say it? Trevor.
Yeah.
The name is Treve. Treve. That's the name. And mine is Egbeta.
So when I have to give that.
No, I'm not saying you don't have to give an or anything. It's just Treve.
Okay. Treve.
Egbeta.
Cristobal success. Treve.
We don't want to hear Trevor.
Okay. I remember.
Brotheralizing the name. Big thanks to Sixtus, Don Ullo, and the rest of the guys, Fredo Kunzuti and DJ Abiyam, Jerome, and the rest of the team. Like I mentioned, Trevor is here, and we'll do the update.